Alright, the last time we saw the party, or at least Rurik, Garrick, and Kalen, they were reclaiming the old citadel in the name of Northshore. Having been drawn to the doomed town either by their own will or that of another, the party were formed into a small squad under the umbrella of the Northshore Militia, and tasked with recovering the town's old fortress. Lost to a natural disaster and overrun with kobolds, dark tales had spread around the town regarding an evil druid twisting the land to his wishes in his subterranean lair. One of them fell in the process. Vike was struck down by those in the druid's thrall, but the party survived. Kobolds, twig blights, and even an encounter with Calcrix, a white dragon wormling, who they wisely chose to not fight. Rescuing the daughter of one of the leaders of the militia, Ender Harris, and making it back alive, the party enjoys somewhat of an increased standing within the town, as tales of their exploits run rampant. We're joining the party a month later with the Citadel back in regular use by the militia and the party staying at the inn The Sleepy Gateway, ran by the mysterious barkeep Darnan. A room has stood sadly empty since Vike's demise, but today the team has been assigned its replacement member. Phineas, the light is just beginning to fade in the evening as you make your way into the Sleepy Gateway. Would you like to describe your character?
So Phineas is about 6 feet tall. He has golden eyes, and with kind of medium length hair that he keeps swept back with just ever so slightly pointed ears. That's about all. He has a quarterstaff which he uses as a bit of a walking stick. He's not a particularly old fella. He just looks like young-ish in the face, and he has a dark blue traveling cloak around him.
Alright, and before we get to what the rest of the noisy residents of this tavern are doing, as soon as you walk in, a face lights up from behind the bar, Phineas, and you see this rather contrastingly extravagantly dressed man in a paisley waistcoat and with a monocle hanging from one pocket, and a neckerchief in the other. He has sort of unkempt hair but brushed backwards, and a fine mustache, and he looks straight up at you and he goes, "Ah, you must be Phineas, my boy. Welcome."
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you. What's your name?
I'm Darnan, and you'll be staying in my fine establishment, along with these folk of distinguished culture. He sort of gestures over at a table where you can see a few people sort of slamming cards down and in the other hand just drinking and necking shots. He goes, "They'll be your, I'm sure, prized associates within the near future. But for now, well, I suggest you to join them if you could."
Okay. Phineas kind of walks over.
As you start leaving, you just hear, "Good luck." And the rest of you, what are you doing?
Kalen, I told you, you cheated at this last time. You can't do this in front of Rurik.
What do you mean? I am playing the game as it's supposed to be. You can't look at me if I win every time. It's not my fault I am not good at it.
You can't look at Rurik's cards. You're not allowed.
Don't tell him. He doesn't know. Look at them.
I thought there was something funny about that last hand.
Take another drink, Rurik. You lost anyway.
Aye. I'll slam the tankard.
I'll kind of walk over, and how many seats are at the table?
Oh, they're sitting at quite a long table. There's a few seats on either side, really.
Okay. I'll kind of walk over and just like tap the one who's just slammed his tankard down. Be like, "Oh, excuse me, so
Aye! What do you want?"
I believe that I'm supposed to be joining you, going in whatever it is that you do.
Whatever it is I do. You haven't heard the tales, boy. Sit down.
You hear from Abara, "Very nice, Rurik."
Okay, I kind of just sit down.
We're the local heroes around here. And you do well to show a bit of respect.
Oh, come on now, Rurik. Don't be such a hard ass on the poor guy. He just wants to come over and say hi. The name is Kalen, and I reach across the table really obnoxiously through everybody.
Okay, I kind of just gingerly extend my hand to give you a handshake.
Excellent. So you said you were here to join us?
Yeah, I got recruited, posted. I don't really know what the correct term is. and next thing I know, they told me to go to Northshore, and here I am. And then it's just been a series of traveling, and then I got yelled at to come in here, and then I got yelled at to go here. So yeah, I'm here I am.
Sounds like you were talking to Kalen too long.
Okay, I only yell when it is necessary. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna have another drink. Goodbye.
And who might you be, sir? And look at Garrick. Obviously.
My name's Garrick. I'm with this motley crew of people.
Good to meet you, sir.
And I'll give you one word of advice really quickly.
Okay.
Don't get in the way of Rurik when he's drinking. It is atrocious.
Okay.
You can also definitely tell that Garrick is swaying when he's telling you this.
Okay. Well,
what is your name?
The name's Phineas. Phineas Nalo.
Phineas Nalo.
I mean, you can just call me Finn. It's what everyone else does. That's fine.
Short and sweet. I like it.
What did you do before you came here, Finn?
I was an apprentice at the School of Higher Learning.
Why? Learning higher
Yeah.
things? What sort of higher things did you learn there?
Well, my teacher taught me a lot of about a lot of spellcraft, a lot of you know, setting things on fire with magic, and helping people, and mostly the setting things on fire with magic. That was kind of the good parts of it.
I would assume that will come in useful at some point.
I'd have to agree.
Okay. Well, I mean, does anyone else need another drink whilst I'm here before I find my room?
Aye, another ale if you're buying then, Finn. Aye,
Yeah,
on you go.
if you're buying around, let's be real.
Okay. What would everyone like? Another ale?
Something strong.
Okay.
Yeah, the dwarves don't mess around. They like the good stuff.
Okay. And Kaylin?
I'll take the same.
Okay.
I can't hold my own against them, but I can sure try.
Okay. So I kind of get up and walk back to Dan, and with looking a little bit terrified.
He kind of looks up as you're making your way over from his book that he's just leaning against one of the timbers of the bar, and he looks at me and goes, "Ah, you survived! Well done. I'm sure you'll survive anything that's to come with that lot.
I
Probably."
think so. They've asked me to buy a round of the strongest of whatever you have.
Right, well, I can assure you they don't mean that, but you can take them a few ales, perhaps, and
Okay.
maybe a glass of water for Garrick? He looks a little bit shook.
I get the impression that if I lean over and I say, I get the impression if I try and give him a glass of water, he will literally and figuratively vomit it. So it's not worth that risk.
Donnie kind of leans over and goes, "Yes, I think you might be right, but... well, you know, fair heart never won fair Garrick. Yes, perhaps the ale is better. Well, here you go." He sort of lifts up from under the counter, seemingly already prepared 4 flagons of ale, and puts them down. He goes, "Perhaps hope the others have forgotten about the stronger stuff for now."
Okay, thank you very much. I kind of just lift them up, like not very easily, because I'm assuming they're quite heavy tankards.
Yeah, they're like proper like pint steins.
Proper pint, yeah. So I kind of lift them up and just kind of, as I head towards the table, just start shaking just a little bit, just like, okay, and then I just like put them down in the middle of the table. I'm like, here you go, guys.
Careful, boy. Don't spill a drop.
Oh, don't worry, he's new. Don't worry, it'll be fine.
Yeah, watch your cards there, Rurik. They're on the table.
Oh, I'm done with this bloody game. I can't even win a hand. Stupid thing.
I mean, I did notice Kaylin looking at your cards quite a lot. That might be why you can't win a hand.
Aye. Well, some people have all the luck and some people cheat.
Hey, if you're good at it, you do what you can.
Surely if you were good at it, you wouldn't get caught, though.
I mean, what are these guys going to do about it, really?
Yeah, okay. Well, cheers. And then just kind of
Cheers.
hold Pankler.
Hey.
And I don't stop drinking until it's gone.
Make me a Constitution saving throw there,
I
Garrick.
definitely do
God.
that.
For a
First
holy man,
roll.
holy crap.
Oh, look at that. Natural 20 to start the game.
So Garrett kind of throws his pint back, and there's almost no motion for about 6 seconds. And then he just puts it back down. He's like, refreshing. And seemingly he has truly, in the most literal sense, necked the pint.
There you go.
So are you just gonna drink the night away until the morning?
Yeah, we're gonna have a little time and then go to bed.
All right, so you guys start making your way to bed. Phineas, are you just gonna go find your room, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'll kind of nod at Darnan as I head upstairs and just be like, I'm assuming I'm supposed to be going up here with them.
Yes, it's I believe Vike's room was the third on the left.
Sorry, Vike?
Oh yes, he rented the room before you. He died.
We'll tell you all about him tomorrow. I'm just like yelling to you in the like different.
Okay. Did he die horribly?
Oh,
Yes.
no, from what I hear, it was just a sword through the heart. Far worse ways to go.
Oh. Okay. And again, that kind of same terrified look as he just kind of slowly walks upstairs.
You hear like a soft chuckle as you head up the stairs. And yeah, you find a room. It's awfully nice actually. It's kind of done up with where you get the impression of almost like a motley collection of antique furnishings that's actually quite decorative, but everything's a little bit, moth-bitten, a little bit worn, a little bit frayed, but certainly a nice comfort in the stark surroundings of the town. But it's overall it's pretty decent. It's pretty comfy, and there's lots of room for your stuff.
Okay.
So,
I think I would probably just put all my stuff down and go to bed, to be honest.
all right, yeah, you guys just crash out. Some of you
Yeah,
more
pretty much.
soberly than others, until eventually morning comes, and the night seems to pass without incident. There's no ambushes, but you seem to wake up in the morning.
Thank God.
Thank God.
And we'll say that, Garrick, you wake up first, and it feels like your head is figuratively in your ass.
I need breakfast. And I'm gonna try my best to stumble my way down and find some sustenance that'll cure this hangover. Maybe some Whopper or something or other.
All right, as you make it downstairs, you see Darnan in the same place as he always is, leaning against the bar, and he goes, up bright and early, I see.
With the sun, yeah. Can you get me something that fills the gut? I am. Ugh.
Why, of course. I actually rather need your companions, too. And at this point, Phineas, Kalen, and Rurik, you hear almost like the faint jingling of bells, which seem to rouse you from your sleep.
Oh, bloody hell. I'm up. I'm up. I'll start.
Once you've woken, the bells just fade away.
Okay. I'll just get ready, prepare myself, and head downstairs.
Yeah, I'll kind of do the same. I will prepare mage armor though, just in case.
That's a very good idea. Not foreshadowing anything, but good idea. Anyway, you all make your way downstairs, and eventually you'll sit down at the table you were drinking at the previous night. It's only vaguely changed color from all the spilt ale, but eventually Darlan appears back with lined up on his arms 4 what appear to be full-cooked breakfasts, which smell quite delectable in your current states for 3 of you. And he puts them down in front of you and goes, there we are. Anything else that you need, just give me a shout. I'll be over in a moment to speak with you anyway.
Could I actually trouble you for a herbal tea, Darnan?
A herbal tea?
Yes.
Well, I'll see what I got.
Don't look at me like that!
Oh, no judgment here, fine sir. You have any preference?
Just something to strengthen my resolve, I guess. Something to
yes.
prepare me for the day.
Something
Yeah.
a little flowery for him. Come on.
I thought I was the flowery one, Rurik. I am shocked.
Listen, you can't drink like ale all the time.
Garrick would have me thinking otherwise. Alright,
Yeah.
well, let's see what I've got. And he makes his way behind and reappears very swiftly, actually, in like 45 seconds to a minute with an ornate kind of, not tacky, but a little bit gaudy looking china cup with a floating tea bag in there that seems to emit all sorts of interesting fragrances from it, but not entirely unpleasant. Sort of got a light pinkish hue almost to the tea. Because here you are. Finest spices from Rule to make this. You're lucky
Right.
the militia's footing your bill.
Ah, well, I appreciate it, and I'll steep it and then sip daintily from the cup.
I just give him like this like hilarious condescending look the entire time.
It's quite a nice botanical flavor, actually. Subtle, but refreshing enough, and pleasant aromas.
So Don, and what did you want to see us about?
Ah, yes, that. Well, it's no surprise that your replacements arrived today. And yes, welcome to the team, I suppose. You
Thank you.
are required. A small force of the militia has actually been leading an expedition for some time to find, well, a rumored resource nearby, in fact, known as the Forge of Krundakar. And it appears as though they've found it. I don't know too much else other than they appear to be having a spot of bother, and you've been requested.
If they found it, why do they need us?
I'd imagine there's something standing between them and it that they would
Yeah.
like your assistance in dealing with. Unfortunately, the celebrity you enjoy for your success at the Sunless Citadel has also, well, rather, put you to the top of the list for future requests.
Yeah, you have to be able to walk the walk as well as talk the talk.
Precisely. So you're required there. I hear this place is rather important. And, Garrick and Rurik, why don't you both make me a history check?
Okay.
Am I good at those? I am good at those.
I got a 11.
I didn't do much better. I got a 13.
Okay, I'd say to both of you, Krundakar rings a bell in your mind. From dwarven stories you'd heard when you were younger and sort of almost like the folklore of your people. You know that it's a place of some repute, rumored to be a great forge. You're not quite sure on what are the details. You can't really recall too much, other than there's some sort of story about it.
Yeah,
I'm just I'm not saying anything.
you're sipping your herbal tea.
Yeah.
Sipping your herbal tea.
Mm.
Right. So he goes, yeah, so, well, I can mark it on your map for you. Or if you even have a map, hopefully you're vaguely prepared. I can provide you with one if not, and mark it on you, and off you go, I guess.
Thank you. That would be very helpful.
Now, not to say you've been out of practice these past few weeks with the light duties afforded to you.
I slap my belly.
Yes, quite. Thank you, Garrick. I would recommend you swing by, well, what used to be the makeshift garrison, but is now, in fact, simply being used for supplies. I think old Jebediah is running it these days. I suggest you swing by there to see what you can pry from his cold, sadly not dead hands.
I like Jebediah. I admire a man with resolve, and he has it. He has it in spades.
It's only because he likes you guys that you guys like him back.
I give Jebediah a hard time, but truth be told, he's, I think, perhaps one of the few who've been in the village as long as I have. He's done a lot for Northshore. I mean, he certainly knows that as well, but he's a good soul, somewhere.
Keeping this place running.
Precisely, he's been here through thick and thin, and somehow survived. That says a lot about the man.
We'll stop in before we leave.
Very well. And, Phineas, is there anything I could assist you with? Did you find your lodgings adequate?
Yeah, yes, thank you. Just one question.
Yes.
When I was assigned for a reason, or was I assigned because I was the only recruit?
Well, you're not the only recruit. In fact, actually, since the Citadel was retaken, it appears the image of Northshore is slowly being repaired. There's even been some traders visit. I think there's one in the market at the moment, visiting, away from the usual sheep and sheep-related products. I believe they're selling things of interest, but no, you're far from the only recruit, my dear boy. I believe that you're brought into this squad as well, I'm, of course, merely a barkeep, but I heard that you have some rather impressive prowess about you.
Okay, just checking. I'm hopefully not going to go die a horrible death. Okay, that's fine.
Well,
Thank
you might do that, but not many people from the Institute arrive here.
Yep, understandable.
If
Okay.
anything, take your placement with this squad as intention of them keeping you alive, so that's a good way to
Phineas?
look
Do
at
our
it.
best.
Yes.
Have you ever actually had any battle experience by any chance?
I've No,
Okay.
I've not.
Another great word of advice. Don't hit us three. Hit everything else. That's
Okay,
swinging at
I
you.
will do my
Yes.
best. and-
Solid advice from Garrick. I heard a story of a druid who clipped a friend with a lightning bolt and never heard the end of it.
I have heard the same story as well, darling.
Yeah, it's funny that.
Aye.
Okay.
What a shame if that were to happen again.
That's a tale that's told in all the halls.
What a meta reference.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, to be fair, none of us really had much experience before we started, so and we survived. So
Yes, I believe Vike boasted the most experience. And he died. So, what does experience
Okay.
really mean? You'll be fine.
Okay.
yeah.
Thank
Well,
you.
Phineas, this will be a trial by hellfire.
Well, we're in it now, so yeah, let's get going.
Yeah, let's go
Yeah.
see old Jebediah.
Oh,
Aye. And after that, I
boy.
wouldn't mind swinging by that trader in the marketplace, just in case. You might have something you might find useful.
I actually have those blue gemstones from a little while ago. We might be able to get a fair penny for them.
Yes, I believe you all might want to check your inventories. I think you found a reasonable amount of treasure in the Citadel, which you haven't sold yet.
Yes.
I managed to get a couple scrolls, and hopefully those will come in handy as well.
Shopping episode?
Yeah, fuck
Let's
the
go
rest of this.
shopping.
All the prepared shit.
You
Let's just
bastards, don't you dare.
Connors immediately meteors us.
As you're all packing up to leave, a meteor hit. No, okay, as you're all packing up to leave, Dana walks over to you, Phineas, and taps you on the shoulder. He goes, don't be so worried, my dear boy. Yeah, you can borrow this from me, just bring it back in one piece. And he hands you something that appears to be almost like a 1.5 foot long wooden stick. However, there's a hole bored in one end and a trigger on the other side. And it seems to
Okay.
be kind of broken 3/4 of the way down so you can open it up. He goes, you're an intelligent man, but I'll give you the rundown. Hold towards them, pull the trigger. It'll only work once, so in case you need it.
Okay. I'm just kind of looking at it like, what is this?
And,
thank you very much.
You can add Darnan's boomstick to your inventory.
I can't wait to see what happens
handed
with
him a
that thing.
block.
And I'm not going to tell you what happens until you use it.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes,
yeah, to be
eh?
fair, he wouldn't know until he does.
Boomstick.
I
Done.
love it.
And I will say it is. You see him giving him this, and it's very ornately carved down with gold inlay approaching the breach, and you've never seen anything like it. It's an alien object to all of you. You don't
Just
really recognize
don't point
what it
it
is.
at us, please.
I will do my best. You can see he's like visibly sweating, just like, oh man.
And he just pats you on the back and goes, "Yes, you'll do fine. Anyway, enjoy Jebediah." And he sort of makes his way behind the
Certainly.
bar.
All right. Let's go to
Enjoyment-
old
enjoyment and
Jebediah.
Jebediah are not two things that go together.
Alright, so you make your way out of the sleepy gateway and the sort of warmth of the hearth, and the cozy atmosphere immediately dissipates into a stark, you'd have to guess early spring day. Winter seems to be fading, and sort of like a bright but cold spring day in Northshore. The light hits your eyes, and those of you who imbibed a few drinks last night immediately feel the suffering, but it seems to be relatively nice day for Northshore.
To Jebediah's then.
Alright,
Right.
you're making your way to the Old Garrison?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you guys make your way to the northwest of the town, and you pass through, and there are more people out on the streets. There's definitely an essence of life has returned to the town. You even see some people fixing up some of the old dilapidated houses that had been abandoned, and it seems as though slowly but surely people are sort of finding some sort of life here again, and you make your way down the long road that leads to the old manor house that was converted into a garrison, and there's still like a military presence, but way less than when you first arrived, as a large part of the garrison now operates out of the citadel that you saved. You make your way to the manor house, and still its flaking paint and its dilapidated wood seems to give the whole thing a rather dreary appearance, but as you make your way inside, it's relatively peaceful and quiet. You can just hear a shuffling and scraping off to what you know to be the quartermaster's room, and Phineas, for you, this is a entirely new place, but you're seeing that the manor house has seen better days.
I think at this point Phineas is just like looking around because from what I visited when he arrived in Northshore, it was kind of late, and it was just
Yeah,
like, didn't
you
have time
arrived.
to look
You arrived in the
around.
night, like as the light was fading. So you pretty much beelined for the gateway.
Yeah. So he's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it looks to be some sort of old manor house. You'd be fairly used to them from your time at the Institute, but this one has all sorts of scrapes and wounds and holes in walls that have clearly been the result of conflicts, and
Yeah.
that manor house being reappropriated, we'll say.
Yeah. I think I'd probably just go over to like one of the holes in the wall and just like put my hand on it and just like,
Yeah, even as you
Obviously,
do, like, plaster flakes away and the wallpaper peels, and yeah, definitely would need a
Okay.
bit of love to restore this place.
okay. Just kind of look at the group and just like,
Hands off the walls, Phineas. You don't want to bring the place down on us.
sorry,
Well, into the
sorry,
quartermaster.
sorry.
God's sakes, Rurik. It's like his first
Fuck, I'm
day.
only messing. I'm only messing.
Good. Gosh.
You
Right.
still just hear a sort of like scrape thud coming from the next room. Sounds like somebody
Okay.
dragging things around.
I'm heading straight there. I'm excited.
I kind of lean over to Kaylin and be like, what do I need to know about Jebediah?
Don't worry, as long as you don't say anything offensive, he hates me more than everybody else, so you're fine.
Good to know. And I like clap Kaylin on the back and then just start following Rurik.
Alright. Rurik, as you make your way into the room with Phineas behind you and the others in tow, the figure stooped over in the fraying grey robe. You can't quite see the back of his head as he's dragging something along the floor. All of a sudden, the scraping comes to a halt, and in this dusty room full of tomes and crates and bottles strewn all over the place, the figure turns around, barely unstooping, and he looks up and he goes, "Oh, Rurik, is it? I remember you. You
Oh,
haven't
I'm glad to hear that, Jebediah.
Oh, yes. You haven't brought that prancing Rulian with you. And he sees Kaelin enter the room. He goes, Kaelin.
Yes, I'm glad to see you too, Jebediah. I am
Oh,
glad
yes,
to
yes, lap it up. You laugh at old Jebediah now. Yeah, they always do. Oh, you do one good thing with the Citadel and everybody acts like you're some sort of high priest, but I see you, Kaelin. Anyway, what can I do for the rest of you?
Well, we're going to be setting out on a bit of an expedition, so whatever supplies you can spare, Jebediah.
Oh, always the vague requests, Sir Jebediah.
Well, I don't like to ask for specific things because I don't really know what you have.
Yes, that'd be far too helpful for old Jebediah. Well, where are you going? How long is it? What do you need?
Where is it we're going again? I completely
Yeah, so the place that Darnan's marked on your map, which
Yeah.
appears to be location of Krundakar, you reckon is probably only really a day's journey away.
Okay. I'll just show it to Jebediah and say we're heading here, sort of thing.
He goes, oh, joining the expedition, are we? Very well. Oh, Jebediah will give you what he gave the rest. And he reaches down below one of the shelves, and you see him come back up with 4 red vials of liquid that by now you guys would recognize as standard healing potions. He goes, 1 each. Even for that one. Any special requests?
Good to see your heart is becoming warmer.
Oh, I can still take that back from you anytime, Kaelin. You still your fiendish tongue. He looks at you over at you, Phineas. He goes, you're new. You haven't been in here yet.
No, sir. It's Phineas. It's a pleasure to meet you. And I just like hold up my hand.
Yeah, this very bony yet sort of calloused and hard hand grasps you surprisingly firmly, and he goes, oh, someone with manners coming to Northshore. Oh, it's been a while. You'll do fine here. Well, my name's Jebediah, and you need anything, you come see me first.
Thank you very much, sir. I can't think of anything at the moment. But if there's anything that you can think of, have any potential people who don't wear armor requested anything in particular? I'm not really an armor wearing
I
sort.
think people who don't wear armor mostly request a quick death. Well,
Okay. You see him kind of pale at that, just like, oh god.
sorry, it's part of the humor comes with the years. For you. He kind of rummages around, and you see him kind of like pushing bill hooks and swords out the way. He goes, do you like pole arms?
No, I'm good,
Jebediah
thank you.
hasn't got anything for you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Again, lovely to meet you.
Alright, well, I think Ender is, waiting for you all up by Krundakar, so get going. See that one doesn't cause trouble. He jabs one of his bony fingers at Kalen.
Of course not. We'll be ever vigilant.
I would never dream of it, Jebediah. I would never dream of it.
Oh, yeah, I bet not. Alright, off with you. And he goes back to painfully slowly dragging his crate across the floor.
Oh boy.
As we like go.
Giving him a hand. He's a bit old now, I think, to be pushing crates about by himself.
You gonna go help him drag the crate?
No. I've
Oh,
got things to do.
nobody ever helps Jebediah.
Yeah, it's just some like squire or some low-level soldier, not Rurik.
Not the
Wow,
Rurik.
not the Rurik Bodroth.
Yeah, come on.
Paladin Lord of the Northshore Militia.
Exactly.
As we go to like exit, I look at Phineas and I go, that went a lot better for you than I thought it was. Congratulations.
Didn't seem too bad. His hands are very, very strong.
Yeah, he's not exactly the most subtle individual. He's very blunt.
I kind of got that.
Mm.
Just kind of wandering again, just looking around North Shore, just like.
So I assume you guys
Okay.
are making your way out of the town, or is there anything else you'd like to do?
Well, I'd quite like to swing by that trader, as I said, just to sell off some of these wares, and you never know what they might have on offer.
Let's go then.
I agree.
All right.
All
So
right.
it was, the marketplace was where.
Yeah,
darn
so
it.
the marketplace is just outside the mayor's estate, if you look at your map. And you make your way there, and you do actually, for once, see sort of like carts of goods. They don't look by any means luxurious or in plentiful supply, but you see people apparently bustling things to and from the direction you're heading. And there's a little bit of life and livestock being led through the streets. It's still very cold, though. People are wrapped up and look reluctant to really engage in much more than a passing glance with you. Until eventually you make your way outside the mayor's estate, and it appears as though a few sort of tackily painted, almost a little bit shabby, desperate-looking tents have been erected, actually, with peeling paint, and these are like marquee tents, so like you'd see at a circus, but the paint's flaking off, and the canvas looks a little bit worn and weathered, and there's holes in bits, but you can hear the, for all of you, familiar chatter of what would appear to be a marketplace emanating from inside both of the tents.
Right, I'm just gonna like pass in, take a look. Well, actually, no. I guess you should probably ask someone just where the new trader in town is. Probably be a lot
Who's
quicker,
gonna
so-
grab a passing
Yeah,
villager?
I'll just say to the nearest commoner. Oh my god, that's the
God.
common.
What has happened to Rurik?
Oh, Lord,
I
Rurik.
don't
He
mean it like
liberates
that.
one
It's gone to his
citadel.
head.
This is the Lord Bodrost.
I swear, you kill one evil druid and you think you're Uther. It's unbelievable.
I will
Alright.
grab a person of means and say, "Excuse me, could you heard tell of a new trader in town?"
So the man you've grabbed by the shoulder stands a good 2 feet above you, Rurik.
Why, of course.
Broad-shouldered and with a rough hempen shirt and trousers on. He wears a sort of wide-brimmed hat going up in a conical fashion. And he looks down, chewing his bit of wheat at you, and he goes, "Oh yeah? Who's asking?
I'm Rurik. It's nice to meet you.
Oh yeah? My name's Steve.
Great name, love it.
Hello, Steve.
Alright. What are you looking for?
The new trader who came by.
Oh, Bessie. She sells wicked chickens.
No, I don't think it's that one. That
Oh
we're
no,
in-
she roasts them for you. It's good.
I do like a roast chicken, but no at this time
Yeah.
of the day. It's a bit early.
Yeah? I had one for breakfast. Yeah,
Oh, well,
that's weird.
listen, Steve. Let me. I've asked you nicely.
Oh, you're asking me nicely, are you? Yeah? Yeah?
I think I've been perfectly pleasant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You laughing at me?
Someone
got
else
fancy?
sucked him. I can't.
Are you, what's wrong with you lot?
Sorry, Steve, was it?
Yeah. Who are you?
The name's Finn. Nice to meet you.
Hi, Finn.
I'm okay, thank you. My friend, he's asking, have you seen anyone who, not necessarily chickens, but like anyone selling shiny things or anyone selling jewelry or anything like that?
Yeah, it's a interesting looking fellow actually. I think he's called Marik. He's in the tent over there. He's selling all sorts of bits and bobs. He says is magic and that, but I don't really care for that. You know, I'd like good old fashioned work with my hands.
Like your chickens.
Yeah. You look for Bessie's chickens. She's in the other tent.
No, we've had
Get
our
an order
breakfast,
in now
but,
because she's busy because it's the morning, so she's roasting a lot of them up. But if you get your order in,
all right.
yeah.
I'll tell you what. We'll go check out. Was it Morik? You said.
I think his name's Marik.
Marik. We'll go see Marik, and then I'll be sure to check out Bessie's chickens. Okay.
All right, yeah. Don't know what you want with him. He's just selling a bunch of twigs and nonsense. You're gonna get scammed if I think, because I'm, obviously, like, I've been around in that, innit, I can see it coming, so I saw him, he was saying it was magic, and I was like, nah, mate, what's he gonna do, play on my field for me? Don't think so.
All right, well, we'll go see Marik, and you have a great day, Steve, okay?
All right, cheers, mate, you remember, all right, have a good day, see ya.
Cheers, bye.
All right, bye.
That guy was like Ricky from Trailer Park Boys, but not.
You grabbed a random commoner. Look, you made me go to my list of random commoners, and I had Steve.
I should have specified one that isn't chewing corn.
Well, I think you were very rude to Steve. You laughed in his face.
All right. All right. Yeah.
Ooh.
So should we go see this Marik? I think he said in that tent over there when you're done accosting random people on the street.
Aye.
Go ahead, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say let's go.
Yeah, I just I elbow Rurik and I say, I don't know. I think Rurik wants to go see Bessie. I don't know.
No.
And we'll all head towards Marik.
All right, so you guys go into the tent that the lovely gentleman you encountered indicated to you, and you make your way inside. And it seems to be a lot of people in this tent, more so than the livestock you can hear in the other one. In this tent, they seem to be selling all sorts of actually manufactured goods. So you see people selling very simple clay pots, and basket weavers are in here, and some woodworkers appear to be selling some sort of crude furnitures and utensils, and it all looks to be very, rough homemade stuff. But as you'd expect any sort of recovering town to need, it appears to actually be quite busy just with people buying household amenities. But you do notice nestled away in one of the corners, there's a man with a sort of, it stands out, this almost like glass cabinet in front of him that he keeps gesturing down to with passers-by, and he's looking more and more desperate with each person. He seems to be dressed in actually quite fine silks of varying colors and shades, and he has almost like a half headscarf on. He seems to be gesturing down with his slick back hair. He definitely seems to be the man you're looking for. He stands out a lot from this crowd.
Looks like one of yours, Kaylin. Why don't you do the talking?
Fine, then I shall. I walk up to Marik. I go, excuse me, sir.
Hello.
We were told that you were the man to look for selling valuables and other such interesting
You would be right. I've
objects.
heard of the exploits of people going on here and traveled from the capital, but the business has been, well...
I was gonna say, you are from Rule yourself, then.
I am from Rule. I can tell you are too. Your friends, perhaps not so much. I've lived in Rule for many years. Not originally from there, but that is another story.
Excellent. It's good to see a fellow capitalist.
It's good to see somebody stand and actually look at what I'm selling instead of call me chicken shit or try to sell me roast chickens. They are strange in this town.
Indeed they are. They are very simple, let's say.
Have you been to the north before?
No, unfortunately, this is my first venture, and not necessarily by choice.
I hope by the Emperor it is not also ghastly. But yes, I have come to trade. I heard of the exploits going on here, although it seems I may have arrived a little early, judging by my surroundings.
My friend over here has a couple things he would like you to take a look at, if you have the time, of course.
Of course, please. And please do feel free to browse my wares, too. I've brought a display case of many wands from Rural. I am a One crafter, in fact, in the capital. People here think they're twigs. I trained for 25 years.
It is. It's the unfortunate.
Do not worry about the animals. You grow used to them.
It's not an
Yeah, I
episode of
think-
D&D if Loren's dogs don't like run out of food.
Sorry, it's it's tradition. Yes. I kind of point over to Rurik and I just kind of like wave him over, kind of to bring his stuff over.
I'll
Oh
come
well,
too.
I believe I don't really. Well, let me start again. I've got a lovely flask here that I'm looking to part with. Oh, my fine dwarven eyes tell me that this is a flask of quality make, and I'll be looking for a fair price for it. I'll show them the fine dwarven flask in my inventory.
Make a persuasion roll.
Okay.
Tell me, Craig, do you actually have any? What are your skill expertise?
Athletics, history, persuasion.
Oh
and
no,
religion.
your tools, like because dwarves
Oh,
get
my
a
tools.
craft, right?
Oh, I see. Oh, yes. Well, I have Smith's tools.
Okay, so you'd be able to fairly assess it. So you do know it is a high quality flask. It is very
Yes.
nice. Yes.
But I rolled a 6 on my persuasion check, so.
He
With
kind
a
of looks
plus
at you
four.
with a
But I'm
cocked-
not convincing.
He looks at you with a cocked eyebrow and he goes, Marik will, of course, give you a fair price. He shall take a look at it now. He takes it off and he goes, yes, this is, well, undeniably an exquisite piece. Perhaps not in the best condition. I would be happy to purchase this from you.
Aye, for how much?
Well, how much would you be looking for?
$1 million.
I hate when the negotiation starts with me. 40
Until they
gold.
get you.
I think 40 gold might be a little bit rich for me, but I would happily part with 15 gold for it.
Alright, 15. Aye. I'll do.
Marik will take it and hand over 15 gold to Rurik. And he, Marik kind of cocks an eye at you, Kelly, and goes, not negotiators, the dwarves. Strange.
No, not exactly. They lack the finesse of the capital, that's for sure.
Yes.
I kind of bust past Kalen and just kind of throw the bag of 5 blue gemstones that I have in my inventory on the table and I say, "What can you get for that?" Why didn't I go? Anyway.
Well,
Weird accent.
these are quite a few gems there. Well, where did you find these?
We found them in a old abandoned.
The Sunless Citadel, you dafty.
I don't remember. It was a month ago.
One of the tales that lured me here. Tell me,
Yes, that one.
are you the people who liberated it, they say?
Would that have gotten me a better price?
No,
Oh.
but
Aye,
perhaps
well,
some fame.
We are.
Very interesting. Well, these are exquisite pieces. I would happily part with 50 gold for all of them.
Sure.
All right. And again, he hands you 50 gold and looks pretty pleased with the gems. He goes, tell me, they say that you slew a dragon in there. Is that true?
At that, I kind of look at Kaelin, just like, did what?
I mean that the fables might be a little extreme
Yeah.
or a little exaggerated. We did encounter a dragon, but
We scared it off. We couldn't kill it. Like we didn't want to end its life.
Ah,
It wouldn't be fair.
how awfully noble of you. Well, I imagine not many would encounter a dragon and survive, so they will love the
Yes.
stories back in the capital. Thank you. Do you have anything else you would like to sell, or perhaps take a look at my wares?
I was going to say, you said you had wares.
Yes,
what
yes.
exactly? are
He
you carrying?
gestures towards this sort of very ornate, lacquered, varnished. The fact that this wood is treated and inlaid with gold, it makes everything else here sort of amplifies the crap factor. He's got this very ornate glass cabinet, and he goes, "Yes, please, please look at the ones I've brought. I've tried to bring a fair selection. If you wish to know what any are, well, they're all available."
Can I ask one question? You see that this cabinet, does it look to just have like a lock of some kind on it?
Yeah,
Or
so
any
it
sort
seems
of-
to be built. You have a closer look, and it seems to be like a folding top glass table, like a display table, and it has built-in small locks onto the lid of the glass, where you actually unlock it from the table itself, and then it raises up. It's not padlocked or anything.
Okay.
What kind of there's no dogs here.
I love it. I love it.
That was so random.
What kind of sticks do you sell?
Well, the ones carry all sorts of magical spells built into them. I only have a few of true magical value here with me this time, but I can always bring more. I wasn't sure how much to risk traveling. I run the business with my wife, and, well, I feel as if I died and lost all of our inventory, my death would be the second most tragic thing to her. So, I've only brought it through, but I have wands of war magic. They are very powerful. One to polymorph, one to, well, keep secrets, and, well, one to entangle your foes in a web. I have brought mostly, combat-focused ones, as I feared that would be the place I found.
That's a fair assumption.
I look at the other side. I was like, I do not plan to purchase anything. I don't have enough money.
How much for the tangly web one?
For the wand of webs? Well, seeing as you hopefully will be kickstarting my business here in the north, I don't see why I couldn't part at a fair price. Perhaps, I don't know, 60 gold? It is worth many times that magnitude.
I don't have that much.
I do.
Thought you said you didn't.
I look at Rurik. I was like, is that something you would want?
Well, I just feel like we should support local business to help it grow. Caring about the community. You don't want to shop at the big
one
chain.
rich merchant from the capital to do so.
If you think it will help us, I would.
I don't know. I'd maybe, but maybe we should hang on to the gold for now, just in case we do need something more important.
So there's a wand of webs.
There's a wand of webs.
Polymorph.
Something that he called a wand of war magic. He said there's a wand to find secrets.
To find secrets.
What about the war magic one? What's that one all about?
That is the most powerful wand I make. This is not the most powerful variant, but people who hold these wands, they go on to create great spells and be very powerful mages. It enhances any magic cast with it. Think of it as
I
a
would
plus
assume that
one.
would be an expensive one.
Think of it as a +1, he says.
It is.
Can any magic wielder use it?
Yes, if you're proficient with casting spells, my wands may be of use to you.
How much does that wand it cost exactly?
The war magic wands are very expensive, I'm afraid. I can't cut such a bargain with you, but for one of those you would be looking at hundreds of gold. If you struggle to afford forgive my impudence, but if you struggle to afford the wand of webbing, I do not think this is for you.
Just curious.
We can strike a deal to get one, should you not wish to pay in gold.
Rurik's eyes go really wide.
What do you suggest?
Well, if you agree to bring anything that you might find on your adventures to me first, then perhaps to sweeten the deal upon your first delivery, I could provide you with a war magic wand.
I look to the others. I go, we would be supporting the local as well as reinforcing ourselves. I think this is a fair deal.
Sounds like a good idea.
I mean, chances are Kunrakar or whatever the hell we're going might have a couple of nice things if it's worth as much as we've been told.
His eyes kind of widen at your mention this. He goes, "You're heading to Kundraka."
Yes.
Huh. It's real then.
So it seems.
Well, that certainly piques my interest in the deal I offered. Bring me something of great value from your adventures, and the first payment I shall do at cost, for a long-term relationship to prosper.
I don't like how shifty this guy is.
You can insight check him if you want.
Nah. Rurik doesn't, or Garrick doesn't care.
Would there be an upfront cost, or we would just, use it and then bring you the thing? Or do we have to bring you the thing
Oh no,
first?
I will bring you it. I will give you it when you bring me something first.
Oh, okay.
In addition to the regular payment for what you bring me. But it must be something spectacular. I'm not trading in pots and pans used by kobolds.
We can keep an eye out, for sure, I think.
Very well.
Rest in peace, Meepo.
All right.
I will be staying here for some time, so feel free to find me when you're back.
Alright, sounds good. I look to the others. Is there anything else you need, or should we get going?
Nah, we've dallied enough. Let's get going.
I can't afford anything in here.
Mm.
Maybe I could get a chicken.
And,
Eat.
no,
Bessie's chicken. You can smell it from here. It smells great, John.
Mhm. Let's get going, shall we? We don't want to keep
Derek really.
And
you,
our
wanna, you don't want to eat chicken on the road, John. You want to sit down and enjoy it. Like we've got things.
Well,
to
not to mention the wildlife will come after if you eat it in the middle of the woods.
Rurik, you owe me a chicken when we get back.
I think Steve said there was also a bit of a wait.
Yes.
All right, let's head out. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you guys making your way out of the town and heading to where is marked on your map?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. In that case, you head out the town. Past the guards by the gate. They don't seem to give you even two looks. You're fairly recognizable, the three of you. And Phineas in your tow kind of just gets through.
Lord
with you.
Rurik.
Yeah, Paladin Lord Rurik. goes straight-
Laughing it up as I walk by. I'm just kidding.
And so you're making the journey on foot.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You guys start your trek, and it's along a fairly established road. You can see by the map that was given to you that you just follow the road up, and then you seem to branch off like a mile, cut through a thin amount of trees, and you should be at the location marked. So you're just going to make your way and head there.
We are.
Somebody make me a survival check to see how well you follow the route.
I'm doing it. Whoa. Great. I rolled a 7.
All right, well, thankfully
You-
following a path isn't that hard. You do manage to follow the path pretty well. You're not quite sure of where you cut off, but as you follow the rough cart road and
Garrick, for God's
eventually...
sakes, are you looking at the map upside down again?
I'm a little hungover this morning.
Where Garrick eventually insists that you should be cutting off, you kind of seem to have to hack and kick your way through a patch of brambles and nettles, which is pretty unpleasant, but hey, this is where Garrick said you're meant to turn off, so... You turn off and make your way through the trees, and then you notice that you're only a little bit away from where you should be, as you can see the crest of the hill that's marked on your map. And you can see some faint pillars of smoke rising from the other side of that hill, as well as a little bit of chatter and shouting following on the air.
I suppose we gotta go find Ender. I don't know. Can I look around, see if I can find him?
Oh yeah, sure, you're going to go up onto the crest of the hill, because right now you're kind of coming out the trees, there's like
Oh,
a
yeah.
hill, and then, yeah. So, okay, so
Yeah,
you
I'll go-
go up on the hill. I will say, you don't need to roll to see this. You can see, spread out before you appears to be a sizable army camp. You recognize it immediately as the Northshore Militia, the flag of North Shore, and the stark black and white uniforms can be seen very, very easily. And you see, just general soldiers milling around in their small internal camps and campfires, and a large command tent in the middle, but... Would you like to try and actually spot Ender himself?
Or at least kind of we're the main command camp, or something like that. If I can't see Ender
Make
himself.
me a perception roll.
Boy.
Oh boy.
That's a 4.
Man, we are rolling great. That
Well,
one.
Caleb's
Caleb's not
uh,
good at perception.
Shit!
There's a big tent in the middle of the camp. It's a pretty big tent.
I think it's that one. maybe.
Aye,
Not
the
that-
big one.
Those amazing Kalen insights.
Yeah.
So you guys are gonna make your way down towards that.
The big one, yeah.
All right, so you guys make your way down as you get to the sort of, we'll say the border of the camp where there seems to be a palisade of stakes and a couple of guards standing you. One of them stops you and goes, "Hey, oh, stop right there, please. Who's this?"
I look over at Lord Rurik.
No, this is not sticky. No.
This is canon now.
I give them a hearty nod and I say, "Greetings, fellows. We're just looking for Ender."
All right. Well, you why you here? Just to see Ender?
I know he's summoned us.
All right. In you go. He kind of stands aside, and as you're walking past, you hear him say to the other guy, he goes, "Hey, that's Rurik, one from the Citadel."
Oh my gosh.
It's a thing now.
As we're kind of walking, I just go to I go to Rurik. I'm like, you seem to be more famous than the other two. Why is that?
I don't know. Perhaps it's my way with the common folk. I've got the common tongue, as they say.
But
You know.
Steve wanted to hit you.
No, he didn't.
I think he was close to.
Nah, he was. That's just that local banter, you know. Just the way they are around here. You know, he'll be regaling his pals with tales of that in the tavern tonight. I tell you that.
Okay.
So, as you guys are making your way to the command tent, is there anything you'd like to do, or are you just whole hogging it in the...
Whole
Oh,
hog.
we're playing Yawning Portal. It's Return of the Whole Hog.
Yeah, it's actually relevant now.
The
Phineas must
original
whole
hog.
hog every door now.
All right, so who's going in first?
I guess
Rurik's
Rurik,
leading
since
the
he was
way.
talking.
Fuck's sake.
So the two guards with crossed pole arms kind of see you guys approaching, give you a nod, and open up so you can go into the command tent.
All right. Oh, hello, Ender. We've answered your summons.
Okay, so you go in and you see Ender stooped over a table studying various papers, quill in hand, and he looks up and he goes, "Oh, boys, welcome."
Hello,
Howdy.
Ender.
Hello, sir.
Ah, you must be the new recruit. Phineas, is it?
Yeah. Or Finn. Just whatever.
Ah, handpicked you myself to be with this lot. They'll get the job done. You'll be fine. No.
That's what everyone
Alright,
keeps
then.
saying.
So
Well.
what do you need us for, Ender?
Well, truth be told, we're looking at a bit of a scrap here, I'm afraid. We found Grundikar. It was exactly where the map said, but we couldn't sally forth this far outside of one or two scouts over the years to check, how the area was going. But now you lot have recaptured the Citadel. We're comfortable enough with staging up here. However, we found out that there might be a few complications with reclaiming the forge. Now, have any of you ever fought orcs before?
Can't say I've had the pleasure.
No.
Would
I don't think I have either.
Would any of you
Maybe in
like
my youth.
to?
Finn's face just.
I don't think that's a question you really want to ask. I think we're in it now.
Hey, well, to give you the rundown, we knew that there was, well, to Garrick and Rurik, this might be an unpleasantry, but we knew there were Durgar in the forge these days. And I'm just as not fond of them as you lot are. For those of you who don't know, and he looks to you, Phineas and Kale, and he goes, the Durgar are our fallen cousins. Dwarfs who fell to the darker paths of the gods. Hey. However,
They're absolute heathens.
yes, that they are, and we'll deal with them when the time comes. But it seems as though they've enlisted or perhaps just afforded the space to a warband of orcs that seem to be occupying the top level of the forge. Now, we've encountered these orcs before. They're known as the Red Hand, a ruthless warband that's known for fighting for the highest bidder. Now, obviously, we're not exactly in the business of paying orcs to not fight us, so it looks like we might have a scrap on our hands. So, The good news is, we're not going to have to fight them in their base. The orcs seem frothing at the mouth to come out here and fight us, as orcs often do. So we're going to meet them in the field. We plan to march on them, well, what time is it? And he checks his water clock and he goes, in about 5 hours, just as the light starts going. You've arrived well.
So, what exactly are we to do in this battle? Do you have
Well-
anything planned for us specifically?
Truth be told, I'm one of the commanders of the militia, but that doesn't really mean that I can tell everyone what to do. However, I am your personal squad handler, so that means I can tell you exactly what to do. So, I needed a small group of people I could trust, you lot and Phineas, no offense, that I need to protect one of the siege encampments. Hopefully you'll have a lighter duty, but we do expect the orcs at some point to try and disable our ballistae, which will be vital in thinning their ranks before we fight them man to man. They'll outnumber us, but if you protect those ballistas, well, hopefully half of them won't even make it to the melee.
Understood.
We can do our best.
You'll
At
be
this
out on the
point,
left
Finn
wing.
is white. He's just completely gone white.
I look at him and I kind of like lean down to like whoever's beside me. He'll say Garrick, and I'm like, I don't know if he's going to make it.
He might be a little green, but if he says that he can do magic, I'll be interested to see what kind.
All right.
So-
But yes, and okay, so we are to guard these ballistae.
Yes.
Are we given a squad as well, or is
Well-
there going to be other people?
For the ballistae, I'll be putting you under the care of Captain Gareth Amos. He's a artillery lieutenant here. Gareth Amos, A-M-O-S. He's a crotchety old bastard, but you've met Jebediah, so you'll be fine.
Hmm.
He's he's in charge of the left wing of the ballistae, which you'll be protecting. Now, it'll just be you lots and the crews, but don't expect the crews to be a much hand. The artillery lot are, you know, all mass and trajectories and not enough chainmail and belts, you know, but...
Yes, of course.
Aye, so you'll be protecting them, and at a time that you deem fit, or, you know, perhaps if the orcs do try to attack and you repel it, I'd appreciate it if you could then make your way to support the main body of the force, because, well, some of you have talents that will be needed in the front lines. Garrick, your healing especially could save lives, so I know it'll be rough, and if you're dying out there after whatever goes on, then you don't have to, but, well, if you're there, hopefully less people will die, so.
We will do what we can, and we'll make our way there as quickly as we can.
Alright. Now, do you have any questions? I'm sure you're not exactly appreciating the short-term briefing, but truth be told, I was expecting you here last night. Darmond has told me you had a few pints, and he thought better of getting you to make the journey.
Yeah, Kaylin can't hold her liquor, so
Oh,
Well,
come
she's
on
not
now.
one of us, Garrick. He's not one of us, even.
This is not my fault. I don't have the dwarven constitution of drinking.
I'm
It's a blessing as much as a curse.
yeah.
I'm sure if it was Rulian wine, you'd drink us all under the table.
Now that I could take you up on. But, all right. I look around. I suppose we should get going if we only have like 5 hours, I guess.
Well,
I
just-
mean, the left wing it's you know, half a mile to the left.
No.
You're in no rush. You can prepare here for a while if you need be. You can get supplies and try to grab something to eat if you want. Fighting on an empty stomach is a shitmare, trust me. But, anything you need, any questions, please?
Well, I was just wanting to ask, how many orcs roughly do you expect?
Well, our scouts put them somewhere between 150 to 200.
And is it just orcs or wee gobbles or things like that as well?
I don't think there's any of those arselings here now. Not in the Red Hand. But be warned, the Red Hand these are no regular orcs. I mean, we're still dwarves, we'll hack through them like nothing, but these are serious orcs. They mean business, and they sell their swords to the highest bidder, so they're serious stuff. If the Duragar have paid for them, they clearly rate them. And they do have, we believe, some ogre support as well.
Oh boy.
Great. Bring it on, I say. Bring it on. Let's do it.
Look at it this way. All the more motivation to protect the ballistas, eh?
Yes,
Phineas,
I agree.
you look like you've seen a ghost, pal. You alright?
Excuse me for a second, and he just kind of stumbles out. You just hear the sound of vomiting outside. Just like, "Mwah!"
Oh dear.
One might say it's tactical.
Yeah. I was going to make the same joke.
I mean, there's nothing worse than spewing in a fight. Like, that's just embarrassing. Like, you lose face in front of the enemy, you never recover.
Ender kind of lets out a light chuckle and he goes, Now, you might be thinking I'm mad, but I put that lad with yous three for a reason. He's a magically talented fellow. Once he's got it out of him, I'm sure you'll see why. He's
Maybe we shouldn't feed him supper then.
just look after him. He's obviously, well, he's not meant to be here, is he? I'm sure you can sympathize with that, Kaelin.
Yep.
So look after him. He'll, from what I've heard and what I've read, he'll pay dividends if we get him to stop throwing up at the sight of battle. Yes.
At this point, he kind of just stumbles in, just like wiping his sleeve, like, terribly sorry. Where do you need us again?
You'll be on the left wing. Just follow the other's lead, Phineas. You'll be
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
When you get to the main battle line, you'll find me as well. I'll be behind the line, supporting things.
Okay.
So come and find me when you make it to the
Okay.
main battle. We'll keep you safe.
And
Yes, Garrick.
what do we have for supper around here?
I believe some of the halflings have cooked up one of their famous stews. I believe the main rule is close your eyes, think of the Empire, and don't ask them what's in it. So,
Fair enough.
That's a very common saying, yes, in the city.
you'll be fine. It's nothing like your cuisine in the capital, I'm imagining, but never been there myself.
I've gotten used to the delicacies of
Oh.
the land.
Well, you're at Darnans. You could do far worse. I've no idea how he gets all of it. He must have his own farm down there or something.
He's a magical man.
Aye, something like that. Right, well, I've got a lot to do, I'm afraid, if that's it from yous. I'll be glad to see
Aye.
the back of you until, well, hopefully, I'll see you later today.
Here's hoping.
Thank you.
Alright.
Thank you.
I leave. And I go to try to find some of this wonderful stew.
The stew is not too hard to find. You can see multiple
smell it.
camps. Yeah, you see multiple sort of like small camps of a few soldiers at a time seem to be stirring pots as they're preparing for their evening meal.
Can I find a bowl?
Yeah, there seem to be, next to each pot, there seem to be almost like rough metal bowls just stacked on the floors with spoons in them and stuff.
I ask whomever is cooking, one of the halflings that are cooking,
Hey?
is it ready yet?
Of course it's ready. Be ready 3 hours. Just stirring it away,
I'd like a bowl if possible.
Alright, take care of both yourselves on the floor.
I get a bowl.
Alright, well done.
and I scoop myself some
Garrick, when you're in a camp like this, it's just to help yourself sort of thing. We're not at a fine dining restaurant. We need to place an order.
Don't worry, I'm
Hey,
used
French
to getting
fry?
served.
Can I get you anything to drink as well, sir? No? Right.
No.
Oh man.
The halfling goes back to angrily stirring his pot of stew. He's usually whipping up quite the maelstrom in those beans.
I'll also grab a bowl.
Yeah, just have some of this lovely stew.
Alright, you guys take the stew and it's got substance and there's some flavors there, none of which you recognize as being even vaguely human, but they're you can eat it. It is an edible stew.
Yum.
Even Phineas doesn't vomit again.
All right. Anything else you guys need, or should we head over to the left flank?
Let's do it. Let's size up the situation there, and we'll
Might be
see how we
better
do.
to Get over there sooner rather than later.
Yeah, get our plan in motion, I would say.
All right, so you guys wander along eating your bowls of delicious stew, and
Delicious.
you eventually make your way to the left flank. You make your way through the camps. You see people just gearing up for war, really. A lot of sword sharpening going on, and a lot of sort of a few camp
Rurik's favorite
songs.
pastime.
Rurik's hobby. A lot of
Right,
a lot of pastimes, just like singing, and a few people even appear to be playing guitars. And all in all, the spirits are fairly high, and flags and the pennants are raised high, and everyone seems to be doing okay. And eventually, the camp sort of peters out as you reach two dug-in ballista positions that seem to be getting checked, and everything seems to be a lot of winching going on, a lot of stacking up of bolts next to them, with what seem to be quite fresh-faced, quite young crews manning them. You'd guess they're probably barely humans of 18 or 19 years old. And there does appear to be a much more senior figure with white brushback hair and heavier armor, standing between the two, occasionally looking between them and barking instructions at one.
Is he a human?
He is, yes. He appears to be a human in about, you guess, maybe even as old as his early 50s.
Okay.
But he still stands, like, strong and proud, and he's definitely dressed for combat.
All right. I kind of saunter up to said individual,
Alright?
and I go, excuse me, sir.
Oh, yep.
Are you Gareth?
That I am. Captain Gareth Amos, Northshire
Oh.
Artillery, ma'am.
My name is Kaelin. These are my companions. We are the ones that,
Oh, I
I'm
recognize you all. Except you, and he gestures back at Phineas. He goes, "You're our protection detail, the illustrious Citadel Slayers, are you?"
we are.
We're something.
We were tasked to help you guys out over here on the lines.
Alright, well, I'm sure your presence will help buoy the crews up. It's a lot of their first time seeing action. They're learning it's a bit different to the Engineers Guild, so keep a firm hand with them. We don't want them running off.
We will do our best to keep them safe.
Yes. Now, I have no idea what to expect. I've fought orcs before, but never in such a stage setting. Typically, they like to run at us in the forests. Well, I'd imagine they'll have some riders, so we should prepare to receive attackers almost immediately after the battle starts.
Sounds good. Is there any suggestion as to where we should position ourselves or anything like that?
Honestly, that's up to you. As long as it's between them and my ballistas, you'll do fine.
Fair enough.
I can help you in the fighting, but I'm going to stick by one of the crews to make sure they go unharmed. I'd appreciate if you could protect the other as well.
We'll do our best.
Alright.
Remember, they're going to be prioritizing the ballistas. You got to protect them above everything else.
Understood.
One man can fire a ballista. Nobody can fire one if it's on fire. So, just remember.
Flaming ballista.
Well, bolts yes, ballista no.
Is there anything else that we should know?
Well, I'm afraid I know as much as you do at this point. Not too sure what to expect, really.
Yeah, one question for me, Captain. If the ballistas get set on fire...
I shall put you on the map with the ballistas.
Alright, okay.
Wait.
In a moment. Oops.
In a moment. Or now.
In a moment, mate.
Alright, okay. If the ballistas catch on fire, how is there buckets of water by them or something like that, or
Well, we'll have a couple of pails, but once one of these things is caught, it's very hard to put it out, so the damage is done immediately to the string and the mechanisms. We need to avoid that if
Don't
we
let
can.
it catch on fire, yeah.
That would be ideal.
I
yeah.
look over at Phineas, like, remembering the talk that he said of setting things on fire earlier yesterday, and I was like, huh? Like,
Yeah.
Did
Or
you
that-
catch that?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yep.
You should see yourselves on a map with ballistas now.
Those are some nice looking ballistas.
there's
Thanks.
some nice ballistae.
Can I throw myself on the map? Like, phew.
Yeah, drop yourselves on the map where you'd be. You're chatting to the captain,
Oh,
who's
he's over
the
here.
figure over there.
Putting
for some reason I refreshed and it put me into the Curse of Strahd game. Hey, that's weird. Give me a
Blink
second.
and you realize Captain Amos is actually Strahd.
Oh boy.
I love Phineas's character art.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
good. I'm
boy.
gonna be up here beside this ballista, I think.
So you guys are taking positions and kind of waiting?
I
I mean, unless there's something else we need to talk about, I'm just gonna kind of saunter off and look around.
As a hill dwarf, I'm gonna stand on the hill.
Well, that gives you a +5 to everything.
Hey!
Just don't stand in front of the ballista.
All right, so you guys are just waiting it out, and the light begins to fade a little bit. The sun starts setting, and you see slowly figures begin to trickle out of the army camp and take up ranks, probably about 300 to 400 meters away from you, down in the valley, because this is kind of like a sloping hill down to these huge stone gates that you can just see in the distance over this narrow bridge. But it's hard to make out any real detail from here. All you can see is titanic stone gates carved into the side of a mountain, and a narrow bridge of maybe 20 or 30 meters leading to them. But up until then, it is a sort of bluff of field and scrub, and you see the Northshore Militia slowly taking rank in the middle. And eventually, it seems to wait forever with them just standing there in formation. You hear a huge horn blast rend the setting light in half, and it's deafening even from where you are. And the gates begin to creak open, and you see a thin line of black begin to make its way out of the fortress. What would you like to do, if anything?
Here they come.
I don't want to say cast mage armor, but
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Mage armor's has been on.
All right.
I'm going to prepare an action with my bow to see, like, whenever something breaks the tree line, basically, that
Okay.
I'll shoot it. I guess.
So, yeah, you're like quite a way to the side of the main rank, and there is like a line of trees running up the side, so it is feasible that, yes, you can keep an eye on the tree line. Probably a good idea. But at this point, you hear
Probably do.
Captain Amos shout out to his guy. He goes, "Right, this is it, boys. Remember, I've trained you for this. Don't let anyone down. They're all counting on you down there." And you see them winch back the ballistas and begin to load bolts in as the stream of black doesn't appear to be taking any sort of rank or shape, and you see great lumbering figures amongst it. They just seem to be hurtling towards the militia lines. Any other preparations?
I'll just yell out,
Oh.
"Well, hey, the lads!"
How far away are they?
They're probably like 500-600 meters.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Right.
but it looks like they're fairly shortly going
They're
to
closing in, yeah.
Yeah.
Until eventually, when Craig's "Wahey the lads" finishes, Amos goes, "Right, first ones," and you just hear two enormous thwacks as the strings of the ballistas contract, and you see bolts go whistling overhead towards the stream
Jeez.
of orcs that you can just about to begin to see some detail on. And you see them very successfully smash into the column, rending it in place.
Nice.
There you go. No time for cheering. Load up again. And at that point, it seems like the two ranks in the middle of the field meet, and from what you can see, all hell breaks loose pretty much.
Oof.
And all of a sudden, battle screams and cries and the horrendous, just cacophony of sounds ring out from the middle of the field. He goes, "Right, I saw some of them breaking to the side, you lots. You better get ready. Would anyone else like to prepare anything?"
I mean, yeah, if it's not too cheeky, I guess I'll just prepare to throw a javelin at the first one that gets in range, if
Alright.
that's all right with you, Connor.
What is the range on your javelins?
I believe, well, actually, why don't, because it's, I can throw them up to 120 feet at disadvantage. So I will try that, if that's all right.
All right. Yeah, that is absolutely A-okay with me.
I'm assuming that the like on the map in front of us, they're kind of going to be coming from straight ahead on the map.
Who knows?
Just
Maybe.
yeah, okay. I'd like to
Surprise.
prepare to fire firebolt with 120 feet, but I know that it's just a cast, so
Yeah, it's got a range. Firebolt's got... Is it 120 feet? I think it is.
yeah, it is.
All right, cool. And Garrick, you preparing anything?
Same thing, but Sacred Flame, but it's only 60 feet.
Okay, so at this point, after about 30-40 seconds pass, your eyes have just been transfixed on this melee roaring in the middle of the field. all of a sudden there are rapid branches snapping and movement in the forest ahead. And you see 3 orcs mounted on what appear to be twisted wolf-like beasts just crash out of the forest, bows in hand, ready to meet you. And you can take your prepared actions if you'd like to.
All right.
For my whoever you are, Connor, it's a dexterity save from, I'd say, the one closest.
I'll go last. I'll be right back.
Right here.
All right. So that's dexterity saving throw. What's your DC?
13.
All right. My boy rolls. Okay, well, that's a 21 overall.
Yeah, I think he saved.
I think he will save. All
My
right.
flame
Any
like
effects?
radiance does nothing.
Okay, so you see your sacred flame burst into existence on it, but almost as the flame begins to take part of his shoulder, you see him just roll in the saddle out of the way, and the flame is left behind as he rides towards you out of the forest. Who else had an action prepared? We'll roll initiative after the prepared actions.
So I've got my Java.
Okay, throw your javelin. Who are you aiming at?
So it'll be I'll say the leftmost one.
Okay, so you're throwing it down to here.
Yeah. Okay, so that's still at disadvantage range. So let's see. Okay, that's 16.
16 hits. Yeah, roll damage.
All right. Okay, that is 8 points of piercing damage.
All right. Again, you throw this javelin, and you see this orc on the back of its huge twisted beast begin to roll into the side of its saddle, much like the one that Garrick targeted did. But he's a little too slow, and you actually see the javelin pierce his shoulder in the corner and go whistling off behind, but you can see a red mist of blood flick out the back, and you definitely made contact with that.
Nice.
And Scott,
Yeah.
your firebolt.
Yeah, I've kind of gone for the same one. I saw Rurik hit it, so I'm like, that one.
Alright,
Just
make it roll.
launch it, so. That is a 19.
A 19 hits, yeah.
Okay, 1d10.
Nice.
And that is a whopping 3 points of damage.
All right. So, as this javelin soars past his shoulder and rips into part of it, he rolls into the side of his saddle, only to be caught on the other side with your firebolt. And you nearly see him fall from his saddle, but he manages to make his way back up, and just you see him smashing out with his. He's holding a bow in his hand. You see him just pat out the flames on the side of his arm, and you then see them all. Well, could you all roll initiative, please, for one?
Okay.
I definitely can.
I will roll for our Orky boys. Ooh, that's a good one.
I nat 20.
I shall add you all turns.
13.
I got a 9.
I was pretty excited with that.
All right. Have I not added anyone?
Me.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I just hate Caleb
I'm sorry, I
so
just didn't
much.
want to add you to the.
Also,
Exactly.
Phineas is on the board twice now.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
2 rounds.
Is
No, yeah, he's down there. In
below
the...
the ballistas, and he's above the ballistas.
Which one's the real one?
That one.
Oh yeah,
That
you
one.
put 2 Phineases. All right.
Oh, I
okay.
didn't mean to. My bad.
Okay, so the Ballista Boys got an 11, and the Warg Riders got 21. Okay, so who is first? Let's sort it. Kalen, you're up. As I will say, you all see now as the Warg Riders break the tree line, they are holding a bow in one hand, and all 3 of them simultaneously reach behind and seem to be taking out a burning torch that was slung behind them.
Of course they are. Alright. My turn. I'm just gonna take a shot with my short bow.
All right, which one?
I'll go for the one on the far left.
Are you at disadvantage range there?
Maybe. I don't think so.
Short bows don't have a great range.
Short bows do not have a great range. You might want to check that.
60 feet, is it?
60?
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
it'll be 6120, I think, or is that a longbow?
Let me see here. I
I think
don't really.
longbow's like 300, right?
Oh yeah,
It's-
maybe. Okay,
it's-
I'm pretty sure it's 6020, so you can hit all of them without disadvantage.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I didn't write it
No,
down.
it's fine. I don't think I've ever used a short bow. I should know that, but
All right, so this the one on the far left is what I'm gonna shoot at.
all right.
10.
A 10, I'm afraid, does not hit. Your arrow goes whistling past the back of it as you're slightly too slow on the draw.
And then I'm going to give Bartok Inspiration. I'm gonna look over to Phineas and be like, "Don't worry, mate, you'll be fine." And I give him some inspiration so he feels a little bit better about himself.
Scott, do you know how Bardic Inspiration works?
That is a no.
Okay.
So basically, what happens is
I'll let the Bard explain.
I give you a D6, and on any roll, so like an attack roll or like a skill check or anything like that, if you choose to, you can add a D6 roll.
Okay.
An important distinction: you can add it after you do the roll, but before you find out whether it's successful or not.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
So if you roll it, you don't have
So
to say
if you
it.
roll like a 14, but you're like, "Ooh, I think it's going to be a 15 to hit," you can
Yeah.
add your Bardic Inspiration.
Just to get it. Yeah. Got it. Okay.
Okay, cool, awesome. So, right, that's the end of your turn.
Yes.
Okay. All right, the Warg Riders are gonna take their turn, and this one is gonna. These guys can move far. This is fun. All right, you're gonna see all three of them in unison sweep to the left, and they are first gonna take their short bow shots, and that is going to be.
Oh, hell.
All right, the one on the right is gonna fire at you, Garrick. That is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
All right.
Damn.
So Garrick, you take. Where's my D60? Here it is. All right. Garrick, you take 10 points of piercing damage as he high rolls. All right. And the
Yikes.
other two are going to shoot at you, Rurik. Lord Rurik of Northshore.
I
first
huddle
one-
behind my
The
shield.
first one is a 22.
That hits.
All right. And the second one is 19.
19 also hits.
Okay. Wow, these guys are like 50 caliber snipers. Okay, the first one is only 5 points of piercing damage, and the second one is 8 points of piercing damage. So 13 points of piercing damage as the first volley of arrows go up and just about find their way through your guy's armor, and you feel the arrowheads pierce into your flesh. Not the most dangerous wound, they don't seem to go too deep, but bloody painful. And with their bonus action, all three of these are going to sling their torches and throw them up at this left-hand ballista. And so the first one... Okay, the first one throws his torch and he way underslings it and it just clatters off of the cliff below hand. The next one does
Hits
the
Rurik.
same and actually just throws it, and you just see the torch arc just too low and land in front of the ballista, crackling. And the last one drops his torch as he throws it because he rolled a 1. Alright.
Ah, you dafties!
Alright. And that is going to be the end of their turn. So Garrick, you're up.
Garrick is
These guys are like snipers with the bow and just fumble throw the torches. Oh my goodness.
Well, they were like, "Oh my god, we did it!" Okay. I'm going to fire a Scorching Ray at.
Ooh.
I guess since I'm a paladin, I'm a cleric of light. I'm going to use my light burning energy to Scorching Ray the one closest to me, just south of me.
Okay.
So let me roll my 3. You want me to roll 3 first or 1 at a time?
Do 3, like, get your hits, then roll your damage.
Sure thing. So, Jesus. I rolled a 7.
That does not hit.
I rolled 15.
That hits.
Sweet. I rolled a 17.
That hits.
Sorry, 16. Math is hard.
That also hits.
Perfect. So 2 dice 6. So I hit twice. So 3, 6, 5 is 11, and 5 is 16.
Alright,
16
16 damage.
fire
So the first one just thuds into the ground before you correct the aim on the rays blasting out of your hand, and it just catches the Warg Rider square in the chest. And although he screams and manages to twist the flames out, you can see parts of his armor still smoldering underneath, and he is crying out in pain. It looks like you got a very, very solid hit with your rays on him.
Perfect. And I'm going to just quickly speak a word of healing to myself and just speak a quick healing word,
Okay.
which minimum damage, of course.
Minimum Healy damage.
Minimum healing damage.
I hit
rolled
myself
4.
for 5 healing. Alright.
Yes, and that's it for me. I will just move slightly over to try to close off if they tried to run out.
Okay, close off the pass between those two. Alright. Phineas, you're up.
I think after seeing Garrick nail that one on the right, I am going to cast Magic Missile on that one. So
Best spell in the game. Go for it.
yeah,
Pew, 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 pew.
so it's just one
3d4 plus 3. is the damage.
3d4. That's fine. That's
New
a 4.
guy uses spells that doesn't need to hit.
6.
Classic.
That's 8 plus 3, so 11.
All right, that'll do it. So your 3
Nice.
bolts
Got him.
shoot off. And what does your magic missile look like, Phineas?
It literally just looks like. I mean, I'm assuming you guys have all played World of Warcraft.
All right, it's an arcane magic missile.
It's an
fine.
arcane magic missile. That's it.
Does
That's
it go
it.
like, vroom,
These blue and
vroom?
purple
Yeah, it makes
crackling
exactly
bolts.
that sound.
Vroom, 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 just soars over your head as these blue and purple crackling missiles of energy seem to go into the air, like a good 10 feet above Rurik and Garrick, your guys' heads, and then they just arc down and slam. I've played World of Warcraft. They just arc down and slam into the rightmost Warg Rider, and you can see the force of the blow actually seems to contort his body almost, as the force just crumples him like this, and he just slumps out of his saddle. And that Warg Rider is very dead. However, the Warg is now snarling and roaring up in your direction. So we'll give them the snail of, is only a Warg.
The classic.
Wonderful.
A great
Oh yeah,
status
Scott, you'll
effect.
quickly learn, we use the snail for everything. If we have an effect,
Okay.
the snail is what represents it.
Snail is all.
Yes. And, alright, anything else?
No, I think I just look at Kay and just go, I think I pissed it off, and that's it.
Alright. So, it is Amos's turn, and he is going to hop down this ledge to be beside you three. And he's going to raise his sword, and his sword begins to glow with a faint blue energy as a ray of bluish-white light fires out at the Warg that is actually remaining from Phineas's blow. And this...
Eldritch Knight? What?
No, not an Eldritch Knight, you nerd. Alright, that is... Yeah, that's definitely going to hit. And... Alright, so, yeah, this ray of blue-white light slams out, where it hits the Warg square on the nose, actually. You see part of the Warg's face appear to crystallize and freeze as this crystalline dust surrounds it. And then he lowers his sword and goes, that one shouldn't need much to finish off. But the Warg is still, with almost its jaw half frozen, this half snarl just roaring up at the pass. And Rulric, it's your turn.
Do I dash forward and finish it?
Craig, I love it when people charge into my groups of enemies, so I'm gonna say yes.
Do you remember what happened to the Strad campaign literally 4 days ago?
Yeah, you're right, John. You're right. All right, I'm just gonna I'll throw a javelin or attempt to throw a javelin at the rightmost soul wag.
Just the Warg, alright, cool.
Yeah.
Toss
Okay.
your Java.
That's a 10.
That does not hit, I'm afraid.
Too
The
distracted
Wargs
by
are pretty big
campaign.
targets to aim for, but that does not hit.
No,
It
okay.
falls just short of the Warg.
Bloody hell! See that, Amos? You distracted me with your wondrous abilities. I'm in awe. And I'll end my turn.
He's, as he's going, aren't you a paladin? Anyway. Right, anyway. Kaylin, you're up.
All right. I'm going to attempt to take another shot with my bow. I'm going to shoot at the middle orc
Okay.
guy.
Are you in range for that shot? Let me check. Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah. If I can do the left one, I assume I can do the middle one.
Yeah. They've moved since then, though. They rode off.
Oh, sorry.
Your fun fact, the range is 80, 320.
Nice. 83.
Oh
Is,
my
is that a
God.
fun fact or is it merely a fact?
My rolls are back.
It's just a
I
fact.
rolled an 8.
All right. Yeah, unfortunately, your arrow just... These are moving targets. Like, these guys, bear in mind, are still sweeping to the left, so... Unfortunately, you just mistime your shot once more. You can't quite seem to get the tracking on them, as the Wargs have very sporadic and, like, irregular movement, and you can't quite seem to track it, and your shot just goes wide. Anything else?
No, I think that's going to be it for now.
All right, Warg's turn. We're going to start out with this...
Wah!
We're going to
Sounds like saying wah, like Waluigi.
Wah's turn.
Wow.
We're going to start out with this half-frozen, nearly dead Warg that is looking feral and screaming up at the pass. It's unsurprising, going to charge into the pass. And Rurik, it is going to set its sights squarely on you. It seemed to be staring at Amos, but it's actually going to go for you, Rurik. And that is going to be... the first one is 15 to hit.
No.
Okay, so the Warg rears up and its right claw just comes raking across your plate, and you feel the impact of the blow, but you look down just see score marks in your plate, as this isn't Game of Thrones, so armor actually works. But-
Hey!
and the second one, it's going to rear back again and go with its left claw, and that is going to be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that is.
Armor doesn't work that well. All right,
Wah.
and that is going to be a. Let me find my dice that I never use. Here they are. Okay.
The D20 to deal damage.
You wish. Okay, that's going to be 7 points of slashing damage. As this one strikes in almost exactly the same place, and they just managed to pierce your breastplate and score 4 lines across your chest. That is going to leave a pretty badass scar.
Yikes.
And so the Warg Riders behind, they're going to actually pivot on the spot and start sweeping to the right. And they're going to move a little bit further. And this one on the right-hand side is going to return fire at you, Kalen. Aiming up with its bow. That is a 14 to hit.
No.
Ooh, its arrow just actually thuds into the ballista beside you, of course, causing no damage, but you hear the thunk, like right next to you in the ballista beside you, and you hear it just down as it looks like a very frustrated Warg Rider. And
Good.
the one behind it is going to launch an arrow up at, I think, Amos, actually. And again, that's not going to hit. That's going to clatter off the stones. However, these two are now going to, this one's going to move a little bit further, and they're both going to sling their torches up at the topmost ballista. Okay, the first one, the one closest to you, Kalen, launches its torch and you see it clatter right past you into the workings of the ballista. I'll allow you a reaction. What would you like to do?
Oh shit.
It's right next to you, clattering into the ballista.
Okay, so it's like right
Inspire
next to
the
me.
ballista. Inspire the ballista.
Can I grab off, because I have a cloak, can I grab off my cloak and like throw it on the torch to try to like
Yeah, sure. Make
basically,
me a
Mother
suffocate
check.
it?
yeah, make me a sleight of hand check to see how deftly you can do this, because you're wheeling off your cloak and throwing it in there, so you're gonna have to be pretty accurate.
A 13?
Okay, you managed to get your cloak off, you managed to wheel it into the insides of the ballista, and it seems to cover up the torch for now. You can still see a little bit of smoldering and smoke coming from inside, but it seems like you've covered the torch. And the second one is going to launch its torch up at you, and it's going to land short, and you're going to see it fall in between you and the orc, as these guys are terrible shots. Garrick, your turn.
To make them even more terrible shots, I'm going to cast Bane
Oh, hell.
on the, both, if I can, the Warg and the Warg Riders in the back.
How many targets? Oh, sorry, the riders, yes.
Sorry, 3.
Yep.
So the 2 Riders and then the Warg in front of me, if possible.
Sure thing. What save is that from them?
And it is a Charisma saving
Okay,
throw.
we'll go Warg first.
Sure.
The Warg, I need to check its charisma, I apologize.
I hope it's -1, because it's
It
a
actually
Warg.
it actually did a decent roll.
Is it above the 13?
No, it's not. It's actually a 12. So, yeah, the Warg is baned. We'll go for the right-hand side Warg Rider. That is 17, so that saves.
That saves.
And the bottom one is a 4, so that is
That
baned.
does.
So I shall give the bottom one the Broken Heart of Bane,
Classic.
and the Warg as well. And that is a 1d4 off of its rolls, right?
Yes, it is.
Okie dokie. Anything else?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Phineas, Nailo.
Ah, old Phineas. I am going to cast Firebolt just on that one that's got the broken heart.
Alright, take a shot. This dude actually hasn't been scratched yet. Pretty impressive.
Oh, I thought it was the one I'd hit before, but okay.
No, the one you hit before you killed.
Ooh, that's a 9.
That does not hit, I'm afraid. The firebolt
Yeah.
just veers off into the forest behind it.
Yeah. And no, that's my turn done. There's nothing
Alright.
else I can do.
So, Captain Amos is going to actually kind of hop down onto a half ledge and take a stab at the Warg as it's facing you guys. And yeah, that'll do it. Let's roll
Amos is
damage.
doing more work than
Let's roll
us.
damage just to check.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Warg.
Yeah,
Warg.
miss, misses
he
arrows.
just makes it. This thing has 3 health and he just rolled a 1, but he's got +2, so he just kills it. He manages to plunge his blade into the side of its neck and pull it out, and the Warg, with a whimper, just collapses to the floor in front of you guys. But it is dead. And Rurik, it's your turn.
Oh, once again, the temptation to run forward, but I didn't think I could make it without.
Oh, you could make it into melee with that
Totally
one.
make it.
Definitely.
Don't give it a friggin' stab. Let's
They
go.
don't call you the High
Yeah.
Chancellor Rurik for another.
Shut the fuck up.
Rurik,
Oh,
white trigger.
rides again.
I will
Field Marshal Rurik.
I will unsheath my sword and yell, For Torm! As I charge forward, and I will swing my sword at the Wog Rider.
All right,
So-
roll your attack. Are you aiming at the rider or the wog?
The Rider. The
Okay,
Rider.
Swinging
Not some-
swinging up at the rider. Okay.
Yeah, so that's a 16.
Okay, yeah, you managed to catch. So with your divinely battle rage infused strike, you just go in with a huge backhand swing and rake the rider across his chest. And let's see how he does. Oh, okay. So as you hit him, not only what damage does it deal?
It does 10 slashing damage. to him.
Okay, yeah, all right. That's a big boy hit. So let me just roll for something.
He's gonna fall down, isn't he?
Yeah, as you hit him in the chest, you actually manage to take him back off his saddle, and he lands sickeningly at a horrendous angle in between his shoulder blades, and you hear his neck snap, and that rider is dead, leaving just a wog there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's all right. It's just a wag. Nice.
Anything else?
No. That'll end it for me.
All right, Kaelin.
All right.
That dude nat wand his dex check falling off the wog. So
Nice.
What a
Can I
fool.
take a quick look back? Is the ballista not on fire still?
it appears to be not on fire,
All right, so
and
it
you
might-
notice the crew are actually reaching in to grab the torch and the cloak.
All right, so I'm gonna assume that's fine. I'm just gonna take another shot with my bow. Hopefully, actually hit something this time. I'm gonna go for the furthest one again, like
Okay,
not
for
the one
the rider?
Rubik's at, but the other one.
All right, this needs
Finally, I think I
the
actually-
snail of just being a wog. There you go.
Of course.
16 to hit.
16 certainly hits. You're aiming for the rider, right?
Yes, I am.
Okey-dokey.
Low damage, of course. A 4 damage.
Okay, you managed to get a shot off. It appears to pierce him just below the knee. He kind of lets out a yelp in pain, but he's still sweeping to the right.
All right, and then with my bonus action, I am going to cast Healing Word on my good friend Rurik, who taking
Oh.
quite a few hits.
Thank goodness.
So, and that's gonna be my turn.
All right.
How much do I heal for?
You heal for 6.
Nice.
Much better healer than I am, it seems.
it was actually max damage or
Max
Max
heal
heal
damage.
damage.
Max
Hell yeah.
damage.
All right. So the turn of the Wog and Wog Rider. Now, the Wog is going to turn and wheel and attack you, Rurik, having just killed its rider. And that first one's going to be a 22. These Wogs are going hard.
Yeah, that
Okay,
hits.
and we'll roll the second one. So the first one rakes you across the chest. The next one's a 5, so that does not hit. But from the claws that do strike, you take maximum damage. You take 10 slashing damage as it rakes you and actually catches you under your helmet and just leaves a nasty gash across your chin.
Is it a good thing I just healed you?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, and the other Wog Rider, seeing you strike down his last ally, is going to close with you into melee. And his Wog first is going to strike out at you. And that first one, is a 13 to hit.
That's a miss.
Too bad. And then the next one is a 5, so both Wog strikes you manage to just get your shield up in time and deflect away its claws. You're too busy reeling from the
Too
blood
early
loss.
for it to be this close for you.
I know.
And the rider is then going to slash down with this wicked curved scimitar with a nicked and crooked blade that he pulls out. And he's going to swing down at you, Craig, for 22 to hit again.
Nice.
All right, that is going to deal... Get the big boy dice out. That's going to deal 8 points of slashing damage as his scimitar swings down and cuts you across the chest.
I'm down.
You're down.
Did you bane? Did you put the bane on?
Oh, I can apply the bane to that. Sorry, I forgot.
Will it matter?
24,
It might. If it's 22, it might.
Okay, I can roll the -4. That landed on a 2, so it's a 20.
20. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
Never mind.
so
I tried.
you're down.
I'm down.
Craig gets the
Yeah.
the ninja of being down.
Oh.
All right. However, that is the end of their turn, and Garrick, you're up. As the Wogs close in, growling on Rurik's fallen body.
I'll run over here if I can, kind of slide down the side of the mountain.
How far was that for you? It's difficult terrain, so yeah, I'll allow it. You're fine. You can run
Okay.
over.
And I'm going to take a swing at this warg.
Okie doke.
Doke.
'Cause
Big
I don't
doke.
think I can't reach the warg rider. So
Oh, you can swing up. The rider's dead. Oh, you
yeah,
mean the
I
north
mean
side,
the
yeah, okay.
other.
No,
the other
you couldn't
guy.
reach that. No, it took all your movement to shimmy down the cliff without face planning. So
There we go.
Important aspect there.
Classic
Oh,
battle
man.
strategy, not falling over.
I rolled an 8.
An 8 does not hit, I'm afraid. You
But,
swing up for the rider, but he just not the rider, the Wog, but he just takes half a leap back and moves back in. Counter time your
And
swing.
I'll look at Rurik's body on the ground and say, "Not today, buddy. Not today." And I'll cast a healing word on him as well.
Oh, blessed be these heals.
And that is 6 healing.
Hey, it's better than 0.
And that is it for me.
Alright. Phineas, save the party, you're up.
I
Please.
would like to cast Flaming Sphere.
Oh boy.
Right.
On
Ooh.
Rurik.
Basically on that space just there. On that space right in between there.
You're an evocation wizard, right? So I assume you're
I am.
sculpting the spell
I am,
to not...
I am sculpting the
You
spell.
bloody well better.
Smart.
Just thought I'd check, because evocation wizard gang.
Yeah.
Let's go. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you're Flaming Sphere. Do you have a token for Flaming Sphere?
Oh god, I don't. No, I do not.
Ah. Do I have a token for Flaming Sphere? That's
You
the real
have my old one
You
when I used to
should,
be
because
Razzie.
the
Oh.
druid had one.
That is true. So, Scott, are you back in the game?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah, back.
Flaming Sphere. It does damage when you cast it, I believe.
Yeah, they have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, we'll do the Wog on the right. Let me get the Wog stats. The word not going to matter. That's a 3, so the Wog fails. The Wog Rider rolls a 1, so they both fail. So full damage on both of them.
Cool. Is that including the Wog? That's the
Yeah,
rider's
the
riding as
Rider
well?
rolls for the Wog as well because he's controlling it. So
Okay, so it's 2d6. So that is a 3 and a 5, so 8.
okay, so they all take 8 points of damage, including the Wog that the guy is on.
Yeah.
So, all right. You can see them withering under the heat of your flaming sphere, and patches of fur on both of the Wogs actually start to ignite. And you can see the blade of the rider being held way too close and beginning to actually glow red hot, burning his hand. And he yelps out in pain. And the cacophony of Wog and Orc scream going on right now is truly quite harrowing. So, anything else?
Phineas barfs.
Phineas throws up.
Yeah, I was literally about to be like Phineas, just kind of is holding this, goes, just like holding that spear.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, none done.
All right. Captain Amos's
Just gonna
turn.
maintain
Amos is going to raise his sword once again to the remaining rider
By
and
the lights.
fire off a light blue beam, which is going to hit. It catches the rider, and you see part of his arm freeze up in the same crystalline structure, and it looks awfully painful. Okay. And yeah, that rider once again yelps out in pain. It's kind of getting assaulted from all sides. He looks a bit overwhelmed at the moment. And that's going to end Amos's turn. Rurik, you're up.
Oh, I'll go for the rider on the right with a swing from a sword.
All right,
Let's see.
swing your blade up.
All right, that's a 12.
Okay, that does not hit, I'm afraid. We got the paladin. Lord Rurik is reeing on the battlefield.
Damn these hands!
That'll end it for me. I'm not gonna
Yes.
do
Lord
anything else.
Rurik the Mighty, they called him. All right,
Oh, I should say
Kaelin.
I stood up as well.
We're just sitting screaming at his hands in the middle of a field.
Kaelin, please put these beasts out their misery.
I'm going to certainly try. Great. Do I just take another shot? Do I actually bother casting a spell though?
I will say
So,
the Wog.
is there still a rider on one of the
Yeah,
ones?
so the leftmost Wog still has its rider on, but the Wog and the rider itself are both looking in very rough shape. Parts of the Wog are actually on fire, as is the one on the right.
Alright, I'm gonna take a shot at the rider on the left.
Okay, make a shot.
13?
That does not hit, I'm afraid.
I've been rolling under 10s the entire
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. That's some classic turtle
I've also
rolling.
been low rolling as well.
Oh man.
Not very good.
I think I
I
rolled
think
4.
that's all I guess I can do for now.
Okay, now
No.
Scott, I need your help on Flaming Sphere.
Yep.
Is it on your turn or when something
I think it's
starts
when they
its
end their
turn?
turn.
It
What ends-
says until the spell. Oh no, that's the wrong one. That's a
There should be like
illusion.
when a creature something's its turn.
Yeah, when any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, so instinctively the warg on the right is gonna bolt away from the sphere around Garrick. So Rurik, you'll get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, yes.
Whack 'em.
Yes. Yes. Not one.
Yo,
That build up. Oh my
party
god.
of idiots. All right, he's gonna wheel around this side and take 2 swipes at you, Garrick, which I'll
Is it
roll.
just me though, or every time we do play Yawning Portal, it's usually like this is what happens to us. It's just a fiesta.
I wheel the
Fuck.
fire giants out, you wheel the nat ones out. Alright, so he's gonna take 2 swipes at you, Garrick. The
I'd
first
like
one is
to
a.
invoke disadvantage on his attack roll
do-
by using
do
Warding
you-
Flame.
Okay, I was gonna say, do you have a way of doing that? Or...
No, I would just like to do it if possible.
Doing it.
So, what? How's warding flame work?
It is a like I've blinded you. I've been like, wah, big
It's
flash
a
of light.
reaction,
And everyone's
I
like,
take it.
yeah, it's a reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll.
All right. Does it work on all attack rolls made until your next turn? or-
When you are, you can use your reaction to impose disadvantage on the attack roll, causing light to flare before the attacker.
So
before
just the first one. Okay. So the first one in that case has disadvantage, and that turns it from a 21 to an 11. So.
Hey.
All right. And the second Raker clause from the warg is a 6. So that's not going to hit at all. So
Sweet.
blinded by
Well
the
done,
light,
man.
it's just mashing the air in front of it to no avail. This warg rider to the left is going to wheel around behind the both of you. Roll 20 won't let it go there, but it's behind the both of you. And it is going to take 2 swipes at Rurik, because he is engaged in battle with you. The first one is nat 1, fantastic. And the second one is a 7. Good job, wargs.
Oh.
And the rider is going to flash his saber down at you for an 8.
What a great turn.
Torm, bless him. Yes.
Brilliant. All right, great, fantastic, love it. Garrick, your turn. I'm firing these warg riders afterwards.
I think
going
these
to,
fights are just longer just because we're so incompetent.
Yeah. Am I like you said? They're about he's the warg and rider are they're
Warg
within
and rider
melee
are
with
to
me?
your left. Yes, they are.
Okay, there's snapping problems. I'm going to take a swing at the rider.
Okay.
If possible.
Make your swing.
Oh, natural 20.
That's a crit.
Oh
Roll your
my
damage.
God.
This dude
Finally.
is so
Die
screwed.
8. Look at this. 2,
I was gonna take a low roll here.
8. So 10 plus 2 is 12 damage.
All right. What weapon are you attacking with? Do you have a warhammer?
I have a warhammer.
All right. Your
yes.
warhammer. You swing up and you thud it into just like the stomach of this rider, and it just breaks him in half. You can almost feel through the shock of the shaft of your hammer, the spine just snap, and he just folds in on himself and slumps off the warg. And all that remains is 2 wargs with no riders.
Sweet.
Alright.
That's it for my turn. I'm not going to move at all.
Okie dokie. Phineas, you're up.
I'm going to maintain the flaming sphere, and that's basically my action. But as a bonus action, you can move it. So I'm going to move it.
So you can crash it into
and-
people, right?
Yeah,
Slam
I'm
this
gonna move it and slam it into the warg that's just heading up the path.
So is
or
that another
attacking.
dexterity saving throw from me?
Let's see. As a bonus, if you ram the sphere into a creature, that creature must make the saving throw against the sphere's damage, and the sphere stops moving. So I think it is another.
Yeah, it's another
dexterity
dex
sa-
throw,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
That's a 3,
yeah. So, okay, so
Bam!
2d6.
which is a natural 1 plus 2.
Ooh.
Nice.
That is a 4.
Yeah, that's enough. It incinerates the warg as this flaming sphere just seems to
Cooked him.
occupy the space of the warg, and you see actually this beast slumps to the side with almost like a hemisphere burnt out of it. It just slums over onto the side.
Okay.
Welcome to Yawning Portal. Cheery D&D. Burning wolves. All right. Anything else?
I think he's just going green. You just see him
Alright.
going greener and greener as the fight's going on.
Okay, so Captain Amos is going to run down and once again unleash the same beam at the last remaining warg, and he nat 20s. None of my enemies can do that. Brilliant.
I
And
just
that
like how he
is-
goes around just laser beaming things.
yeah, that's enough. This beam smashes the warg in its neck, and you see the entire neck crystallize and actually shatter off as this warg is sub-zero fatality beheaded in front of you.
Yes.
And that will end combat for
Does he
now.
rip out the frozen vertebrae? Or...
Yes, he does. And that will end combat for now.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
the wargs are dead. The ballistas have survived. Well done to the party. And you're more or less unscathed, except Rurik, who took an absolute battering. So, however, the battle still rages beyond.
Phineas kind of sags, and the sphere disappears, and then you see him just vomit. Like, all that stew that they ate, just straight up.
Nice.
Straight out.
I like kind of saunter over towards him and I go and I just kind of like as he's puking I like tap him on the back. I'm like, you did good.
Ow.
Thanks. Thank you.
At this point, as you're all
I'll be fine.
I hope so.
at this point, as you're all kind of regrouping in the pass, Amos walks up to you and goes, "Oh, you did well. They were right to put you here. We would have been overrun without you. Thanks."
Well, you did your fair share there, Amos. Thanks.
Well,
Thanks a bunch.
I've served in Northshore for 30 years. You learned a few tricks, mostly to keep you away from the melee, as you learned as well, I think. But
Aye.
thank you all. You did a good job. I think. I hate to say it, but you should head to the lines now. I imagine they'll need your talents there.
It never ends.
Certainly doesn't, but we'll do what we can to support you. You kept the ballistas up, and that's going to be a great aid in the fights to come. Thank you.
Awesome.
Anytime, aye.
Likewise.
Okay.
I'll start walking my way back.
All
to
right,
the
let's
front
go,
line.
Finn. Just kind of like,
You just hear a squelch as his foot just stomps in the vomit.
oh, come on now.
Okay.
Just as you go past, you say, Amos, go, yes, I remember my first battle. It wasn't too dissimilar. Don't worry, son. He sort of pats you on the shoulder.
Thanks. Just like.
All
I
right,
look
so you
over
guys.
to Rurik. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
no, please go ahead.
I was gonna say to Rurik, you took quite a beating there. Are you going to be all right?
I'm going to burn lay on hands for all 15 points and heal myself up
So you
quite
see
a bit.
the Lord Grand High Paladin Arbiter Rurik Bodrost stretch out his arms and just holy light seems to surge over him, and you actually, through the rip in his breastplate, you can see the wounds seal and scar over already. It's quite the divine sight.
I reach into my bag and I grab my healing potion. I hand it to Rurik. I was like, you're going to probably need this a lot more than I will.
Alright, probably. Do I drink it now or do I save it?
I mean, drink this one now and then save yours, right?
Alright, I'll drink this one. So is it 2d4 plus 2, I believe?
It is a standard healing potion.
Okay, so I got a nice lovely 8 altogether.
Hey. All right.
Okay.
So you guys making your way towards the front lines?
Yeah.
Yes.
You can see the battle raging. Obviously, at this point, from where you are, it's mostly just clouds of dust kicked up and smoke and yelling, and you can only really see the back of the North Shore line, except some concerningly huge figures towering in the Orcish lines, smashing down with clubs, even that you can see from this distance. So you're just gonna, whole hog it towards the battle line. All right, should we get back into it?
Yes.
Yes.
Phineas, lead the charge. All right, so are you all making your way back to I say back, are you making your way forwards even to the main battle line?
Yes.
All right. It's a pretty straightforward run from here. Are you just going to aim for the center of it? Are you going to...
Just maybe calling out to passing officers to ask if they can point us in the direction of Ender.
Sure, you see, like, as you get closer, you do start seeing the odd soldier retreating, being helped by a comrade, clearly wounded in some regard. There's some with lesser wounds than you see, some for who, there's perhaps more serious injuries that are going to need actual treatment. But are you going to just ask one of those guys passing? You don't see any officers so much heading back, but there is a steady stream of soldiers.
I just grab one and say, "Where can we find Ender?"
Oh, middle of the line, at the back. He's coordinating everything.
Right, thanks. And I'll hustle off.
He sort of
Nice.
just continues running backwards with his friend. And yeah, you make your way there, and sure enough, you do see Ender in the sort of back section of the line towards the middle. And what would you like to do?
What is he doing?
You see him, he's facing the line, yelling commands, and every now and again you see him kind of raise a hand and make a perception check.
Ew.
All of us?
Ooh, guess what? I
just-
rolled really shitty again. Shocking. I rolled a 4.
You can have advantage, because I assume you're all looking towards him, so.
Oh, it's fine. I rolled a nat 1 on my second roll.
How are you
I
so
hate
bad?
Lorraine. I write all these cool details, and then you roll
Yeah,
and you don't see
yeah.
them, and I hate all of you.
She's
Okay.
the worst.
Kalen is legitimately blind.
You, Ender keeps raising his hand every now and again, looking towards certain parts of the line, and you could swear you see, like, flashes of light in that direction or something, but you're not quite sure what's happening. Rurik, you would recognize he is, and Rurik and Garrick would both probably recognize, he is utilizing some sort of healing magic.
Nice.
But, yeah, so you're just gonna run up to him, and he's facing away from you right now. He is focused on the battle lines.
We'll jog up to him.
There's
I guess.
probably about only 10 or 15 feet between him and the back of the actual shield lines fighting. You can jog up?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Connor seems intent to guess physically in this spot. Oh boy, what's gonna happen?
Oh,
Well, I'm wondering if you're going up and interrupting it.
Alright, Hi, Ender.
Oh, welcome to the fight. Without even turning around, he's just yelling over his shoulder. He goes, "Right, we're gonna need help at some point. You can protect me for now. I'm keeping them up. These orcs, they fight like the devil." And you can see again, he's still just channeling spells into the line.
Oh, hell's bells.
Anything you
Alright,
would like
well,
to do, or
I'll just take positions around Ender, and if any gaps in like a breakthrough happens in the line, I guess I'll just make ready to.
Fill in a hole.
I'll like stand beside. I guess stand just to the side of him,
okay?
just kind of ready like a firebolt.
All right. Well, as you guys are readying, you do hear a thunderous stampede on the floor, and all of a sudden, the middle of the line bows backwards. It breaks in on itself, and two huge ogres donned in black steel armor and leather just smash through the line, and they look like they're about to turn and start massacring the Northshore troops. While Ender goes, "Right, looks like we're in these. Come on." And he runs to meet them. I'll put you all on the map. You can place yourselves.
Hell's
Oh,
bells.
my.
Those are big boys.
They are big boys. These are not giant singular humans and orcs. These represent the groups fighting. Just so you can be.
like these ones over there.
Yeah, the two giant ogres are two fucking giant ogres. Don't worry about
Yeah.
them.
Where did? So is this assuming Ender's like ran up to meet them?
Yes,
Where did he start, like roughly?
like
But
10
he's
feet
like,
back.
I'm not there.
How,
Okay,
how
that's-
far back?
How far
Kalen
back
would-
can I be?
If you were standing in the group talking face to face with Ender, you would be at about the line I'm drawing now.
It's fine. It's
Move
just-
closer, Scott.
15 feet back.
Right, that's it.
I will also be a few feet back.
Good luck.
Phineas teleports and instantly dies.
Phineas accidentally casts Blink. Phineas dies. Alright,
Oh.
Horribly.
I will also be back.
and you can all roll your initiative as I add you turns.
Great.
Oh boy.
Great.
Oof. Oof.
Hmm.
Oof. I did
Oh
not
my
roll
god, my
well.
rolls.
That
Okay.
I think
time.
it's my dice tray.
I think it's you.
I don't think it's anything because it's just they're just pieces of plastic being rolled over over.
I'm
film.
using my dice tray for the first time today, and I'm rolling like balls. It's gotta be related.
You're rolling balls. You should be rolling dice.
Boy.
Whee!
Whee, got him. Alright, I got a
I
15.
don't even remember what I rolled.
The ogres are going to take separate turns because they're big boys. And they can
I
handle
got a
themselves.
whopping 5.
Oops. Alright, if you can add all your initiatives in the tracker, that would be appreciated.
Done.
You've all already done it. Oh, aren't you the best party? Okay.
Done.
Okay. So, are we all ready?
We are a great party, so don't kill us, please.
And clicks the battle music. Alright. So, Ender is beginning, actually. Ender is going to run up to this one on the northern side of the map, and he is going to immediately, as it's wheeling around to start striking the militia troops, he is just going to throw himself, shield and hammer, at the back of its leg and take a huge swing, which connects, otherwise that would have been embarrassing. And you hear his warhammer okay, crack into the back of its leg, and immediately just bellows out this enormous "Ugh!" and just swings round on the spot, cleaver in hand. And now you get a look at these guys as they turn to face you. They are clad in very heavy dark metal armor, but there are gaps in it, and it's rather makeshift. You can tell it's been put together in a haste for them. And they wield huge war cleavers that any normal man would struggle to wield two-handed in each hand. The one to the south of the map has a large makeshift shield, which actually appears to be a large slab of stone that it appears to have ripped out of some rubble. But the other one is just wielding its huge cleaver as they turn to stare towards you. And Rurik, what would you like to do?
Oh, I guess I should try and get in the way of the other one, right? Hell's bells. I'll do it. I'll move forward, and I will take a swing with my sword at the ogre. Okay, that's a 22.
That certainly hits.
Okay, I would also like to burn a spell slot and use Divine Smite here.
All right.
So here we go. So first off, it takes...
For the light.
Yes,
By
by
the
the light.
holy light.
So it takes 10 slashing damage, and then... 10 points of radiant damage.
Wow, okay.
Bam!
So,
Bam,
my
bitch.
Lord Paladin Rurik charges up and swings at this
That
thing.
never gets old.
It really doesn't. And yeah, he swings at this thing, and you see his weapon light up in holy light, and he just obliterates the left thigh of this huge hulking ogre. And for a moment, the strike seems so powerful that the ogre actually drops to his knee, then has to use the stone slab to push himself back up. But now he readies himself into a fighting stance as he lowers the stone slab towards you, cleaver in his other hand.
Uh-oh.
Oh, jeez.
Goodbye.
Hey, you got him good, man.
By the light, I'm
And he's about to get you good.
You got him good. All right. The ogre fighting Ender is going to turn around and take a meaty revenge swing at him. And that is going to be a... Oh, all right, fair play. He swings in this huge arc as he sweeps round, but Ender's natural racial advantages means the swing just goes straight over his head. And Ender just laughs up and goes, "Ha! Thought you could get me that easily. Hey!" And readies himself to fight the ogre. Phineas, your turn.
Phineas is going to cast Mirror Image.
All right.
So 3 illusory duplicates of yourself appear in your space until the spell ends. And then he and his copies are going to move backwards. They're just going to look at them and then move 20 feet back the way.
So, Kaelin, you're probably the only one who sees this, but Phineas appears to blur and almost blink out of reality for a second until he warps into 4 Phineases standing there, each one looking as nervous as the next.
That's gonna be a lot of barf.
God, I hope they can't all throw up. Okay. Anything else, Phineas?
Nope, can't do anything else on my turn, so that's it done.
All right. So the ogre facing you, Rurik, is going to hold its shield out and swing down with that war cleaver of his for 17 to hit.
That does not hit.
Oh, so your first one, you raise your shield just in time for this huge sword, and it clangs off, and you feel the impact nearly force your feet into the ground. And then it's going to shunt out with its huge stone slab at you for 23 to hit.
Yeah, that is.
All right. So, well, don't worry, this is the better one to get hit by. All right. You take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as the huge slab of stone just smashes you in the chest as you're busy raising your shield, leaving yourself exposed. And it knocks the wind out of you.
Oh, hell's bells.
And you
All
said
right.
that's the better one to get hit by.
Oh, well, yeah, you'd rather get hit by the stone slab than the sword, trust me. All right. Kaelin,
Have fun.
you're up.
I have a logistical question.
Mm-hmm.
Are the ogres close enough that they would be able to like hit each other? Like, are their ranges far enough?
They are standing far enough apart that they would be fairly significantly out of arm's reach of each other.
Okay, never mind.
But probably only by a few feet. If you can compel them to move, you could probably get them close to each other.
Not really. I guess I will cast Dissonant Whispers on.
Alright.
I'll cast it on the big boy that Craig's fighting.
Okay. And that's
So
a
he has to
saving throw?
make. Yeah, he's got to make a saving throw of some sort here.
Charisma?
Wisdom.
Wisdom, okay.
Wisdom.
Yeah, that's a 2 from our big boy.
Yay! Last time they actually rolled really well. If I
They did,
remember
yeah.
correctly.
They resisted a lot.
So let's see here. 13, 9. So he's gonna take 11 damage
All right.
as his brain is kind of like, I don't understand.
Yeah, so-
And then he's also going to use his reaction to move as far as his speed allows away from me. So he's gonna turn around and book it the other way.
All right. So you see him raise. He actually drops the stone slab of the shield, and his hand and his cleaver just raised to his head. He goes, oh! And he turns around and barrels through both the North Shore and
hell.
the Orc troops.
Killed an entire battalion.
And you see
Right.
him send these men and orcs flying into disarray. And you see more than a few bodies of both sides on the ground afterwards.
What on earth?
Far be it
Sorry.
from me to know what I'm doing, but
That's
does
as far as
Rurik
you
not
can,
get
isn't it? So,
an attack of opportunity if he does that?
yes, he will, because he runs
Oh
out.
yeah, you would too.
Okay.
Okay,
Nice.
I will choose to take the attack of opportunity, and that's a 18. Sorry.
The 18 hits, yeah.
Okay, and from that he takes another 10 slashing damage.
Wow. All right. So as he's running, you just get a huge strike off into his calf, and this jet of really almost black, like dark red blood just spurts out and leaves the stream where he runs. And that ogre, like, you have nearly hacked both of its legs clean off at this point. It is very wounded, but it looks to be in a blood rage at the moment. All right.
That's all for my turn.
Garrick, you're up.
Am I within aggression range of this boy?
Absolutely.
Damn.
Aggression.
I think large ogres have quite a large aggression range.
I could imagine. In that case, I'm going to move up next to
Zone of aggression.
Ender
Yep.
and take a big old swing with my war hammer.
All right.
Trying to attack the same leg that he did. And I rolled a 16.
16 hits.
Nice. Yeah. And a 4 plus 2 is 6
All
bludgeoning damage.
You smash into it. It doesn't quite have the same crippling effect Rurik's blow had, but you make a solid contact and you're sure that left its mark. But
And
right now,
that
the ogre
is-
seems focused on fighting Ender.
And that is it for me.
Okay. All right. Ender's up. He's going to still trade blows with this ogre. Unfortunately for him, his blow just clangs off one of the heavy metal plates that have been affixed to the ogre's legs. And that's going to be the end of his turn. Rurik, you're up.
Okay, I'll just move forward next to this ogre and swing at it with my sword, and that's 23,
That certainly hits.
and it takes from that it'll be 12 points of slashing damage.
Wow. All right.
Damn. Putting in work.
All right, so yeah, you get a deep, deep cut into its ribcage, actually stabbing up under a plate of armor, and you see the blade go a few inches in before you yank it out, and definitely a heavy wound to it there.
Okay. Don't stop me, don't stop me, don't stop me.
All right, it is the turn of the ogre that the two of you are engaged in, and he is going to, suffering that heavy wound from you, Rurik, he's going to pivot on the spot and swing down with his cleaver at you for, it's not great, for a 12.
Miss.
All right.
Miss.
So once again, you just bounce the cleaver away, and out of frustration, it's going to raise it and slam it down again for a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
All right. That is going to be, let me check the damage on this big boy. All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, boy. All right. That is going to be 13 points of slashing damage.
Ow.
He hit you with like
As
this broadside. of a
Finally, the cleaver makes contact, and you can tell that this instrument is this dark, twisted, huge slab of metal. It is not sharp. It is not a functional sword, but it is a massive piece of metal being slammed into you edgeways, and actually crumples in a part of your pauldron, and you feel the bone in your shoulder just crack.
Oh, fucking hell. Jesus.
You just got hit with a boat.
Pretty much. It might as well have
Toot
been.
toot.
I would like to use my reaction to toot. All right,
All right.
Phineas, you're up.
I am going to cast Magic Missile on the one that has yeeted out of through everything.
Roll your damage.
Yep. That's wait, was it 1d4, 1d6?
1d4 plus 1 for each
1d4
die.
before, that's fine. So 2, 2, and a 4.
Alright, so 8 points of damage. As the bolts slam into its back, you see it stumble slightly as it's running away, still clutching its head. But it is.
It's 11 points of damage. 11? It's 1d.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were adding. Sorry, yeah.
No, sorry.
Alright. Yeah, okay, so seems to stumble slightly more than he did previously.
Damn it!
But he's still fine.
I know I hate when players do that. Like, oh wait, no, it's a little bit, and then your description's like ruined. You're
I
like,
fucking hate players.
Well,
as
but if
they're
it killed it, then, you know.
Alright, it's time for the turn of our rampagey boy. So, this ogre is gonna see the pain subside in its head and turn around and... You see now that blood is pouring from the waist down, like this thing is barely running, it's stumbling and you can see it losing its balance with every step. And in a red mist, it is just going to charge at the Northshore troops, swinging its cleaver from side to side. And
no.
Sorry.
so,
sorry everyone.
on the
My
first
bad.
backswing, you see it carve through several militiamen as they just tumble aside. And he's going to keep trampling through and take a second swing. And
They knew they risked.
again,
you know?
on the re-swing, you just see him slam it down onto the head of a spearman and keep running through. As how far has he moved? Let's have a look. As oh yeah, he can't move much further. All right.
Well,
So
this is
he's
not
just going to
keeping
charge
us.
through, and yeah, we'll say that. At least half these men are dead now, and the rest lie scattered and routing. And Caitlin, that's your turn.
I'm gonna take a bow shot at the rampaging one on the bottom.
All right, take a shot.
Natural 20.
All right, roll your damage.
The smugness with which that
I know.
was.
Smugness,
It's
which he rolls
only
minimum
because I
damage.
miss every
Only-
single other shot.
If she doesn't manage to finish this, that's gonna be hilarious.
Roll minimum damage.
No, I do 10 damage actually.
All right, your bow shot. Where would you like to place your shot to kill it?
I'm gonna get him right in the eye. Just bam.
Right in the eye. It just
for the
you see the
eyes.
head. It goes through one of the slats in this dark metal like face guard it's got on, and it just slams straight through. You see almost to feathers it sink into his eye, and it just slumps forward into the ground, coming to a skidding halt, and it is dead.
Is it like do like the whole like it's running and then it face plants so it keeps like sliding?
Yeah, it
a
slides a
little
good few feet towards Rurik. Yeah.
bit? Nice.
I'll just give that a cursory whack with my sword.
All right, that's your attack. You don't get an attack next time.
Oh,
Anything else, Caleb?
Nope, I'm good.
All right, Garrick, you're up.
I will easily continue to whack at the legs of this ogre.
Whack away.
Will you believe that I also rolled a natural 20?
I don't believe it for one. So
I'll
go on your
allow
own.
Oh, wait, where is it?
Wait, is that a two?
There it is.
That's a
As I say,
two.
that's a 2.
All right.
John just doesn't know how to count.
He's like, it's a natural duty. Alright, roll your damage.
Alrighty. That would be 12 damage.
All right.
Sweet crit,
Bludgeoning
bro.
So you
damage.
slam your mace into it, and again you feel just a sickening thud of bones crack somewhere in its side, and you swing the hammer back, and you can see now that while there's no cuts, or because you're all smashing it to death with hammers, like the distinguished gentleman you are, you can see that it is now bleeding from the mouth. Like there is significant internal damage to this ogre.
You like to tenderize our meat.
Exactly.
That's it for me.
All right.
Oh boy.
All right.
Jesus.
Ender, time to swing. Alright, and why not? Here's a paladin. While Ender swings his hammer back, you see it light up with golden flame, and he swings it towards just the center mass of this ogre, and it deals.
Smite.
Ooh. Oh, alright. He catches the ogre in the chest, and you just see holy light cave in its ribs as the ogre stumbles to its knees and then crashes dead on the floor.
Nice.
And it is dead. Alright. You've defeated the two ogres, and Kalen, you've only wiped out half the Northshore troops. Good job.
Brave men.
I
Yeah,
mean, You know, it's either them or us. You know, it happens sometimes.
Kaelin, you're writing letters to their parents. Each one of them.
Fine.
Ender looks up at you all and goes, "Oh, good job. Oh, the devastation. Well, it would have been worse without you here, so thank you."
Exactly.
I will go to try and tend to as many.
You see the orcs on this
People.
side have largely retreated back as well after taking heavy casualties from the initial charge through.
Ogre stomp.
Yeah. But all right, John, are you trying to heal as many people as you can over there?
Yeah, I'm just trying to like give them aid, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Make a medicine check.
I'm all right at those. I
John
say
tried to
before
clean
I
up my
roll.
mess.
I rolled a 17. Yeah, it was right first
Okay.
time.
A lot of these men are irreparably damaged, and the best you can do is kind of comfort their passing
Close
as
their
much
eyes.
as you can. Yeah, and sort of ease their final moments as much as you can. But you do find a few who, while severely wounded, you do manage to actually patch and poultice up with some you had prepared in your medicine pouch, and yeah, you've helped stem the bleeding significantly on a few of these guys, and probably given them a much better chance at survival.
You'll make it. Just keep living.
Can't feel my legs.
All right, Meepo. All right. I looked at Ender. I'm like, what's next? Where do we need to go now?
Oh, you need to end this. They're not gonna stop unless their leader either calls them back or falls himself. He's over there on the bridge, and he gestures to a couple hundred meters in the distance. You can see that it's past the lines, and there's actually, except a few routing orcs and minor skirmishers, a pretty clear path to the bridge where you can see, just by squinting, there is a large figure standing there holding a banner. Because if you've got it in you, that'll end things. I'll stay here and make sure this keeps going in our way. Seems to be, at least.
All right.
Because do any of you need healing? I've
Aye.
got some left in me.
Whatever you can spare, Ender.
Alright. he
Just
leans
dump it all on
down and-
Rurik.
He leads you down and grabs you, Rurik, and in a way that you would totally recognize, he casts lay on hands on you and heals you for 12 points of life.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Because that's all I can spare. I need the rest of my reserves for here.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm also going to drink the other healing potion I have. And that heals me for 8 points of healing.
Alright. So,
Okay.
he goes, he'll be standing there until this is done. I'd imagine he'll welcome your challenge, so don't worry about him running.
Fantastic.
Are you all ready? I'll turn to the rest of the party.
Let's end this.
As ready as I will be.
Alright.
Is there still like is there still like 4 Phidiases? Like, is he just hanging out?
Yeah,
like,
there's Phidias still has his mirror images around him.
It lasts for a minute, so they're probably going to be kind of just like slowly
Yeah,
fading
like, as
away.
you're talking, they'll just start popping out of existence.
That was a neat trick.
Yep, I can't use it again though, so that's super fun.
Oh, that's unfortunate. All right,
Learn
let's.
quickly to save things that you need. Seems to be a lot of battle in this area.
Yeah, but I didn't vomit, so I'm gonna take that as a win.
Phidias's moral victory.
All right, let's go in this, shall we?
Alright. So you guys make your way towards the bridge that Ender gestured at, and as you get closer and closer, you see now that the figure standing is a huge orc who towers above the others, holding a banner in one hand and a great twisted cleaver in the other. As you get closer, you see that he's seemingly staring at you, watching you approach when you're about 40-50 meters out, and behind him stands a great ogre too, holding some sort of unusual weapon you can't quite make out at this distance. But they seem to be waiting for you on the bridge over to Krundakar.
I assume we approach slightly.
Yeah,
Alright. You gonna make your way onto the bridge?
yeah, let's do it.
I shall put you on the bridge.
Just for my own, I'm assuming that Bardic Inspiration, that's long gone, hasn't it?
Yeah, it only lasts
Yeah,
10
yeah.
minutes
10 minutes, okay.
or something like that.
10 minutes, yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
10 minutes.
Welcome to Krundakar Bridge.
I got more, luckily.
So you can drop yourselves where you.
Oh, jeepers.
I just pinged away there. What the fuck? I'm not there. I'm moving myself.
You want to be right next to him, Scott?
Phineas just
Phineas
sauntering up.
leads the charge.
But he's just wagging his finger. Now.
So
This is
as
not
you
how we
make
do
your way
things.
onto the bridge, a large orc holding this banner, which appears to be pitch black and tattered, but with a red hand crudely painted onto it. You see now that he's dressed in leathers and patches of chainmail that seem to be woven together, not tassily, but in no real sense of organized form. And he looks up at you, his hair back and a big war braid behind him. There's somebody goes, "Is this the best of the maggots that Northshore sends?"
Aye, we're the best.
Well, I'm glad. I was looking for a real fight. Who stands before Grawn or the Red Hand?
Well, I'm Rurik, paladin, sworn to Torm.
He spits on the ground and goes, "I was expecting to kill a lot of men, but dwarves, it's gonna be even more fun."
What an arsehole.
What
I
do
mean,
you
he
say?
is an orc.
Garrick won't say anything.
Phineas is regretting boasting about not feeling sick.
So wait, can I just yell out? Can I be like, why protect Krundakar? What's in it for you?
Well, them little snotlings down below, they're paying the Red Hand very well. You think you're defeating us, but there's always more. As long as Grawn stands, I'll rebuild the Red Hand.
Ron.
Well then,
His name is Grawn. It's G-R-O-R-N.
Ron.
it looks like we're going to have to cut the snake at its head then, to make sure it does not come back.
He goes, "I was hoping you'd say that." And he slams the banner into the ground, and you see him actually crack the stone of the bridge, and it stands. And he just hefts his cleaver from his left hand to both hands, right back onto his shoulder, and he goes, "Oh, I'll even be polite. You can have the first move." I'd like you all to roll initiative.
Jeepers.
It's not a terrible initiative. I rolled a
I
40.
don't want to say I'm looking forward to this, but I'm not looking forward to this.
I got a 14 as well. I'm really regretting not using mirror image in that fight.
Well, Scott,
Yep,
here
I
we
know.
are.
Scott, what happens to be your dexterity?
My it's 14.
Oh, yeah, you go before I do.
Mine is 16. So I go before both of you.
All right.
Waha.
We
Right.
all got a 14.
Waha.
I didn't. I got a 9.
Ah,
What I mean,
too bad they're probably gonna go before all of us.
the big boys only got an 8.
Oh, I didn't put Grawn's in.
Big boy.
Braun,
Oh, he does
Braun
go
technically said he'd give us the first shot.
He did?
I don't know whether you can go back on your word, sir, but
As he's
That's-
passing you in
That's
half.
not how they do it at the Institute.
Alright, let's have a look. Who's first? Is it actually Grawn?
it is actually
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's why we're laughing.
Alright, he's gonna haft his cleaver up onto his back and go, Oh, should have done me stretches. Go on then. He's gonna drop it down into a two-handed stance as he takes a slight crouch. He goes, Hey, Glub, you working that thing yet? And the ogre behind him is just fiddling now, and you can see just behind him that what the ogre appears to be holding is actually a ripped-off ballista. And he appears to be fiddling with the winch mechanism and goes, I think I'm getting the hang of it. Alright. And Grawn is just going to stand ready.
Yes.
Phineas, your turn.
Well,
Phineas wants.
Phineas leaves.
Phineas wants to use Darnan's boomstick.
Alright. So, how are you using Darnan's boomstick? What would you like to do with it?
So he kind of grabs it, because I'm assuming it's just been like strapped to his backpack. So he kind of grabs it from his backpack, and the instructions he gave were hold the end with the hole in to the enemy. Am I right? I'm right with that, aren't I?
He said
he's not going to shoot his own head off if he does it wrong.
It fires off behind you, right?
Yeah.
North Shore line.
I assume this heals.
So yeah, he's just gonna basically just point it at Grawn and Gub, whatever his name is, and pull the trigger.
Alright.
Bang.
Where you're standing is so perfect. I would like.
No.
Rurik.
He is four. How tall is a dwarf?
I don't think it matters.
I would like Kalen, Rurik, and Garrick to make a dexterity saving. Oh no!
Fall in the goddamn hole,
So
man.
perfect.
Oh no!
I need to check if it even reaches Grawn. Okay, alright. Okay.
Please, God.
I got a 15.
You pass?
I got a 16.
Oh,
You pass?
No! I rolled a 3.
Alright, so let me roll damage for this. Okay! So who passed? Sorry, it was Rurik and Kalen, right?
Yes.
So Rurik and Kalen, you managed to just reactionary at the blast that emanates from this weird stick device that Phineas is holding. You managed to just duck down in time as a hail of what appears to be searing hot shards of metal fly over, but unfortunately, you had no warning for this, and some of them do embed in your shoulders and the back of your neck, and you each take 6 points of piercing damage. And 2 points of fire damage.
Oof.
Oh,
Of course.
However,
okay.
Garrick, you're not so quick on the draw.
Nope.
Neither is Grawn. As the hail of burning shrapnel flies towards you, unfortunately for you, Garrick, you catch some and it almost severs your left ear entirely as the pain sears, and you take 12 points of slashing damage and 4 points of fire damage.
12 and 4, 16.
However, Grawn is caught center mass by the blast from this thing. And you see, once the smoke subsides, Phineas, from the end of this thing, you see Grawn with several jagged metal shards embedded in his chest, and even one just jutting out of his forehead, blood pouring from all of them, and he just stares you in the face with a grin.
I told you not to shoot that at us!
I'm sorry.
You were warned not to hit us at the start. It's the first thing we said.
I am.
Give a party member a shotgun and they just blast everyone with it. I love it. Alright. Phineas, anything else you'd like to do to your party?
Die of embarrassment,
No, that's
maybe?
it.
Alright,
That's it.
Garrick, you're right.
I just like how that would have gone so much different if he had just stepped
If I
forward.
just yelled duck. If I'd literally said everyone move.
Move forward.
Oh my
Alright,
god.
Garrick, one ear, it's your turn.
Garrick is absent in here. I love it.
Oh,
Wait, did it reach Glub or not?
No.
no.
Okay.
No.
30-foot range.
Oh, that was really close
You're
to
lucky-
not hitting.
you're lucky it hit
yeah,
Grawn.
yeah.
That would have been really bad had it actually hit all of us.
I was gonna do a thing and I don't know what to do. Yeah, okay. I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on this point centered
It wouldn't
around
be D&D
them.
if John didn't cast Fairy Fire.
Man, I have it on every character. Even if I can't have it, I have it.
Alright,
Dexterity saving throw.
Jonathan, dexterity. Alright. So Glub rolls an 8,
That is a fail.
Grawn rolls a 15.
Ah, that is a success.
Okay, so Glub is suddenly illuminated, his large bulbous mass, plated with the same dark iron armor you saw before, but significantly less menacingly worn. He is coated in the snail of fairy fire.
The Fairy Fire Garrick would have, by the way, is like golden. It's like shimmering,
Right,
like
just shimmering
like light.
golden dust over him, which makes him very easy to see and place shots on.
And that's it for me, unfortunately.
All right,
I'm
Kalen.
not going to move forward.
Kalen,
I
you're
am so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Scott, if you kill me, I swear to God.
You are never playing again.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you, Scott. I needed someone on my side. All right.
Okay, I am going to cast Crown of Madness on what's his name, Glub?
Glub is the big ogre, yeah.
Yeah, on Glub, the big ogre.
Yep.
So he has to make a Wisdom saving throw.
All right. Oh, he's so good at these.
How wise is it's a big ogre, man?
Glob is very wise.
I
I
need
think.
to check his modifier. Hang on. It's not great.
Did not.
Oh, it's only -2. That's a 17.
Oh my god, I hate you.
Glub is a god.
What a fucking god. In that case, I guess I do nothing.
Great.
All right.
Kalen
Great,
goes,
that's it.
well, that was fun.
All right. Grand High Field Marshal Lord Paladin Rurik Bodross the Lightbringer. You're up.
3000
Alright.
Championship Edition.
The collector's edition. Before I move forward, I would like to channel my divinity and use Turn the Tide. So as a bonus action, each creature of my choice that can hear me within 30 feet regains hit points equal
Oh my god.
1d6 plus my charisma modifier.
Whoa.
Nice.
So you guys heal for that will be 6 points of healing.
I love
And does
it.
that include me? I don't think it does include me.
Each creature can hear you. You can hear yourself. So yes.
All right,
I will
okay.
say that includes you.
Okay.
Well, actually, Garrick might not be able to hear you. You lost an ear.
I lost an ear. Fuck.
I just yell and
The funny thing is, you joke, but actually after this battle, perception checks that involve hearing, Garrett is going to be
Literally.
at disadvantage. He only has one.
Yeah.
Everyone
He
has
actually might
crippling
actually-
tinnitus.
Oh, yeah, the ring from the boomstick. Okay, with that, I will charge forward and swing my sword at.
As
Gro-
you reach melee range,
Oh gosh.
Drawn readies his stance and swings his hammer in a huge
Saved his
overhead
fucking
arc
action.
down at you. And okay, that's only going to be a 15 to hit.
15 does not hit.
You managed to deflect the incoming blow as you arrive in melee range with him.
All right, and I score a 15.
A 15 does not hit, I'm afraid.
Does not hit. Bloody hell. Locked in Mortal Kombat.
All right. So, Glub's turn. Glub is still looking at each side of this huge ballista he's holding in his hands. That is the same size as the mounted siege ballistas you protected. He's like, oh, let me see if this thing works. He's gonna roll, and he's like, you see him start to pull back the string, and then just let go. He's like, oh, that's not it. Hang on. That's gonna end his turn. And
job, Glub.
Braun is going to swing at
No.
Rurik with his cleaver. The first one is a 17.
Miss.
All right. And then he's going to run past you, Rurik,
No.
as his blow bounces off your shield to the party. You get an attack of opportunity.
Oh, I certainly will opportunity that attack. That's a 16.
That hits.
Let me just check. I'm pretty sure you can, but can you use Divine Smite with any attack?
Yeah, it's an attack
Pretty
roll,
sure
right?
you can,
Yeah, I think
Yeah, when
can.
you hit a creature with a melee weapon attack.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to burn another spell slot and use another Divine Smite, and so it takes first max damage from so it's 14 slashing damage, and then 8 points of radiant damage.
Wow. Okay, so you
Big boy.
catch him with a huge swing, using his own momentum running past you against him. You just sunder a piece of his armor off, and you actually just feel the cut go deep
Okay.
up into his shoulder. And he kind of like breaks his run a bit, but still charging towards the party.
As he runs away, I will yell out, "We're not done yet, you bugger! Get back here!"
I've got business with all of you. He's gonna charge towards the party and make his second attack against you, Kalen. Which is going to be a 17 to hit. All right. And you take 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay. That's not good.
All right. And that is going to end Grawn's turn. Phineas, you're up.
I want.
Don't fire the boomstick.
It's only got one use, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Thank God.
Oh,
Look-
man.
look-
Actually,
down-
so when you fired it, after it fired, it actually swung open from the breach. And you can see how
Okay.
you would load another package into it. But you don't
Wait,
have-
maybe
Okay.
maybe look down the barrel, Phineas. See if there's a.
I think I'm just gonna. He's just gonna fire a fire bolt. The ballista are flammable, aren't they?
are.
Yeah, typically items that are worn or carried aren't so flammable
Aren't so
though,
flammable.
just 'cause
Okay.
it's kind of otherwise.
I'll just fire a firebolt at Grawn.
Okay, you're gonna
Yeah.
chuck a fireball up at Grawn,
Yep.
make your attack roll.
So, that is a 24.
That hits, that certainly hits.
That was some spicy thinking, though. I like it.
And then 1d10. As soon as I actually fire
Yep.
my d10, there we go. And that is a 10 to hit. 10 damage.
Alright, you just catch him right in the chest with a fireball, and you see a firebolt, even fireball would be better, but a firebolt, and you see part of the fur lining on his shoulder pads actually ignite, but he's still just grinning at the rest of the part, and he's letting it smolder. So you got a solid hit off on him there. Alright, Gadrick, you're up.
I'm going to run along the big boy's flank next to Rurik. And I'm going to pull out my holy symbol that's around my neck and channel my divinity of Radiance of the Dawn. So everyone who's hostile has to make a Constitution saving throw. I know. They're both
Alright.
probably very good at those.
You wouldn't be entirely wrong. Alright, Grawn first. Oh, he only rolls a 6.
That's a
and
fail.
Glub rolls 14.
That's a success.
Okay. Grawn
So
first.
anyone who failed takes 13 points of radiant damage,
Nice.
while the others take half, so 6.
Okay. So your
pretty good.
holy aura erupts and just sears Grawn. You see his skin begin to blister in the gaps in his armor as the
As I
light
said
takes its toll.
last time, the light shall burn you. And that's it for me, unfortunately.
All right, Kalen.
I am going to. I don't like that Groan's right up in my face. I am going to cast another Dissonant Whispers on Mr. Gordon. Wisdom saving throw.
All right,
Please make.
on Grawn, is that?
Yes.
Okay, it's gonna save. That's okay. No modifier. It's just 17.
I hate you so much. Every time I try to use like spells like that, he always like rolls well, and then I always roll shit. It's heartbreaking. I guess that's all.
You
I can't
dissonant
really-
whispered an ogre earlier. How are you complaining?
Yeah, that's the first time it's ever worked.
I mean, you might massacred half of your own army with
That's-
it.
yeah.
but, you know.
I'm gonna take a look back to Phineas and be like, I could use a little help here, and Bartok Inspiration to
Cool.
him.
Thank
and then
you.
That's all I do.
I just working on it.
That's all I can
All right,
muster.
Rurik, you're up.
Okay. Oh, I'm worried about fucking Glop's ballista. I don't want to get kebabbed.
Glop is the good guy. Come on, this is Glub. Glop
Sorry,
is a
yeah.
good ogre.
Oh yeah, Glop's. Oh yeah. Sorry, too many ogres in my
Such
life.
a- Glop, man, I miss him.
How weak does Gron look?
Grawn looks like he's sustained damage, but you can also tell that he is an incredibly stoic fighter. Like, if he's suffering, he isn't showing it. But you can tell that he has sustained damage. Like, his skin is blistered from Garrick's aura, for one.
Yeah.
Shit the bed. I can't. The others are in danger. I'm going for Gron. I'll move over here and swing at Gron with my sword.
Alright,
Okay, that's 16.
16 hits?
Okay, and I shall burn my last spell slot for another Divine Smite.
Oh, alright.
Smite the boy.
I love Divine Smite. So that's 12 points of slashing damage, and then 10 points of radiant damage. Oh,
Oh my goodness, how much is that overall?
22 overall.
Wow. So you just
Oh.
slam a huge hit into Grawn,
Yeah.
and once again you cut into his shoulder. You see the break, and yeah, he is like now definitely wounded on one side of his body. You can tell with his cleaver he's favoring his right hand, and his left hand isn't on it anymore. All right,
That's my turn. I'm prepared
Glove.
to eat the javelin. Bring it on. Give it to me.
So Glove picks up the ballista. He's looking around. He goes, "Oh, there's a lever!" And he pulls on the lever, and you hear the creaking of wood, and it starts to splinter as the ballista cocks. He goes, "Here we go!" And he puts a javelin on it, and he swings it towards where the fight's going. The only one he has a clear shot on is Garrick.
I would like to warding flare.
So, Garrick, I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw. I
Damn.
assume an 18 hits you.
Yes.
All right, dexterity saving throw.
I'm gonna fall off the fucking map, man. Here we go. Oh, I rolled a 17.
17 makes it.
Hey.
So, don't be that happy. All right, let me roll the damage.
It's still a lot.
I'm dead.
When he's quiet this long, it's not good.
Yeah, that's a lot of
I mean, you
dice.
shot me with the ballista. I assume
Alright.
I'm like gutted on a
Garrick,
piece
you
of wood.
managed to see this coming out the corner of your eye, and you managed to wheel to try and lessen the impact, but the ballista bolt slams into your shoulder, crippling your armor and actually almost blasting a hole straight through your side. You take 26 points of piercing damage.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're on the floor?
Yeah.
Alright, Garrick gets the on the floor of being on the floor.
At least it's not like.
I mean, like,
critical damage.
if you want to talk like damage, that was a substantial amount of damage.
That was a pretty substantial amount of damage. And
But it's not like critical damage. Thankfully.
it is not catastrophic damage, no. You did wheel in time, but it's
good.
gonna leave a hell of a scar. That's a deep ridge blowing out of your shoulder.
That's
Alright.
what I was worried about. I
There'll
guess.
be nothing left of Garrick by the time this battle's over. We just
Alright.
survive.
It's
That's what I
Grawn's
get for
turn.
not warding flaring.
So Grawn initially spins round to attack Garrick. He goes, that's what he gets for fighting dirty. Right. And he's gonna spin round and look at you, Rurik. He goes, might as well make it 2 for 2 with you lot. And he is going to reach down, and I would like you to make a strength check as he tries to grapple you.
A strength check, is it? Or
It's a grapple check, so yeah, it's strength or... No, it's strength, right? For grapple.
I think I grappled it as athletics, isn't it?
Yes. Athletics or acrobatics, I think.
Okay, so that's
It always
16
changes, let
for
me check.
I think it's either or. I thought.
I think
but-
it's either or. Let me check. It's weird and 5e. Casually lurking.
Do-do-do-do-do-do. I'm dead.
Oh yeah, you try to seize the target, make a grapple check instead of an attack roll. A strength check contested by the targets. Oh, so it's my athletics contested by your athletics or acrobatics.
Okay,
so
so I
yours
got
was a 16?
16 is what I
Alright,
got.
well, mine's a 21. So you get grappled, and then I'd like you to make another strength check, please. As
The shove action.
Grawn attempts to lift you off the ground.
Oh no.
Oh, I should have eaten a Whopper Chinese. That's a 15.
Yeah, that doesn't beat my 18, I'm afraid. So Grawn lifts you off your feet and throws you to the side. Now, I will allow you your choice of an athletics or acrobatics check to catch the side of the bridge.
It's athletics, 100%
Alright.
athletics.
It is not contested, it's just your check.
Oh,
No.
Bye, Craig.
okay.
It's nice knowing you.
That's a 13.
13 fails, I'm afraid. As you hurtle over the side of the bridge.
Do I see this?
Yeah, you all see Garrick, Rurik getting picked up and thrown.
No!
Can I use a reaction? It's a reaction.
If it's a reaction, then sure. If it's something
It
you
is
can
a
do as a reaction, go for it.
It is a reaction. I'm going to, as I see him get chucked over the bridge, I kind of like dive over and I cast Featherfall on Rurik.
Define dive over. That's a dangerous.
Well, I kind of just lean over. I lean over like the
Yeah,
edge.
sure. Yeah, you cast Featherfall on Rurik. So Rurik, you are now drifting away down
Okay.
into the canyon below,
Okay.
and you can get the lightning bolt of falling slowly. Godspeed, Rurik. Alright.
Good luck, squishies.
Bloody bards. Swear on my mum's life, mate. Alright. That's gonna end his turn. Phineas, you're up.
Phineas promptly shits his pants.
Oh, okay. Nice turn.
That's
one action.
so-
That's done. I'm going to sculpt my spell and cast Thunder Wave.
Alright.
So each creature in a 15-foot cube originating must make a Constitution saving throw, and he is within 15 feet because I have already measured it.
Okay.
So yeah.
He rolls a 7 on his wait, hang on. An 8 on his Constitution saving throw.
Okay. So on a failed save, the creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pused 10 feet away from
Alright,
you.
roll your damage. And he's
You
pushed
should
10
have
feet
moved
away.
around and pushed him
Kalen-
off the ledge.
Kalen, you get opportunity attack.
Oh, nice. I'll take
That is a 5,
Alright.
and that is a 7.
Oh, jeez, you guys are battering this dude. Alright. 5 and 7, was it?
Yeah, so 12.
Okay. Alright, yeah, he is visibly weakened. And like you can see now he's got broken teeth from the impact of the force, and he's barely standing. He's using his cleaver almost as a prop to hold him up.
I actually
But he
don't get
is-
I don't get an opportunity attack, so I already use my reaction.
Oh yeah, you did, of course. Good job. Look at that.
I also rolled a nat 1.
Morally clean. Okay, yeah. She mentions that after rolling a nat 1. Okay.
Yeah.
Brownie points. Yeah, good job. All right. All right. Garrick, you're up. I assume, unless
I'm
Phineas, you
gonna
want to take further action.
roll-
No.
Okay.
Can't do anything else.
Garrick, you're up.
Gonna roll a don't die check. Yeah. I rolled a 2.
That's a fail. Mark a fail.
Great. It wasn't a 1. That's all that matters.
All
That's
right.
it for me.
Kalen, you're up. I will say Grawn is looking like you get the impression that if you stop fighting him now, he would die from his wounds. He is very heavily injured.
Fuck him up.
Yeah, but he's gonna.
He's also a
fight.
complete psychopathic orc war
Yeah,
chief,
like
but you
he's
know.
just gonna keep fighting. I'm going to try to shoot him with my bow.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yep.
Natural 1?
Missed.
Yep.
Right. Kalen, you fall off the bridge.
I just started at this point.
Anything
Why did
else?
you throw me off the bridge? Shit. No, I think that's it. Actually, you know what? I'll give Bartok Inspiration to Rurik, who's falling off the bridge.
Great. That might.
Well, Rurik
How far is
has
he? Actually, how
drifted
far
a...
is he?
What is the speed of falling on Featherfall?
I'm really not sure.
It is just a falling
that
creature's rate of descent is 60
around.
feet around, yeah.
Yikes.
Okay. I would say he is about 40 feet away now.
You know what? I wish I would have used my action better. Too bad.
Yeah, so do I.
Bye.
That's all I can do. I would have,
Alright.
I would have like thrown a rope to you, but I'm kind of scared about this guy who will also throw me off the bridge. So
Rurik, you are sailing away to the beautiful tunes of Enya. Off a bridge, diagonally.
I probably can't do this. I have 50 feet of rope. Is there any way I can try lobbing it and onto the bridge? I don't think so. I really think.
Would you like to try?
I don't see a way I can do it when I'm 40 feet away from it and it's a length of 50 feet of rope.
You can
It's
try
quite-
throwing it on the bridge. I can't promise you what'll happen. But you can
you
try.
nat 20 it maybe.
Yeah, but then
Like if one of us could see the
Oh.
rope on the side, we could grab it.
As he
no.
drifts farther away from it.
Yeah, that's oh fuck's sake. I guess I might as well try. Hey, I've got nothing to lose by doing it unless I need the rope from her.
I was gonna say you're gonna lose 40, 50 feet of rope, but other than
Yeah,
that.
I will attempt to throw my rope onto the bridge.
So you like lassoing it onto the bridge?
Yeah, as much as I can.
Take your shot.
So what check is that for lassoing?
Roll me a d20.
Roll a
So would it be like
d20.
strength or something to see if you can huff it?
Okay. Okay, that's a 17.
All right. You throw your rope, but you are also drifting away while doing this. And you actually manage to place it just about on the bridge, but it literally like reaches the bridge and like flops off because the weight of the rope pulling it down.
Bye, everyone. See you later.
Right.
Oh, wait, actually, the Bartok Inspiration. Wait, did you use Bartok Inspiration on me?
Yeah, I did.
Yes.
I'm gonna. Sorry, Connor, to retro it.
That's absolutely fine.
What is it? A D6?
I will.
D6. Connor hates it.
No, I'm. Go ahead, Craig.
All right. It's a 6.
That's,
So rigged up to 23, but
that's fine, but I'm afraid I was only going to let you have it on a nat 20. I'm afraid. Because that is an impossible shot with the rope. And just the weight of the rope itself pulls it off the bridge anyway, so. Physically impossible, I'm afraid, but I would have maybe let you have it on a 20. Alright, would you like to take any other actions?
well, throwing the rope is kind of a real action, isn't it? I don't know. I've got nothing left. I will drift to my fate.
Alright.
You would like to wee.
How long does Featherfall last?
Lasts for a while, actually.
Yeah, I think it's 1 minute.
Alright.
1 minute.
Cool. You can fall very far in 1 minute. Okay, Glob's turn. Now, Glob is looking down at this ballista that he just managed to fire, which is splintered and cracked into just unusable mess. He just drops it on the ground, and he picks up a club that was on the floor next to him. Just seems to be this large, almost stack of driftwood he's roped together. And he's gonna charge forward. He has the 5-foot reach, so he's not gonna smash Garrick on the floor. He's just gonna hold here behind the boss. And that's gonna be Grawn's turn. Grawn is going to run up to you, chaps. And Kalen, he'll swing at you. Okay, the first one's a 7. The second one is an 18.
Yep.
18 for not the best roll. 9 points of slashing damage.
I'm on the floor.
We're all dead. The new guy survives.
Not yet.
Alright, you get the ninja being on the floor. Phineas. Your turn.
Blast him.
I'm gonna cast Firebolt at Braun.
Alright.
You do have inspiration just in case.
Yeah. Did you say I could roll it and add my d6 at the end of it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
After you see what you roll, yeah. But before you know whether it succeeds or fails.
That is a 21.
That hits.
Okay.
You don't need to roll your inspiration.
Okay, that's fine. And a d10. That is another 10 of damage.
Wow, okay, holy shit. So you smash a fireball into Grawn, and he drops to his knees with his sword pinned in the ground. And he is breathing heavy, and blood is dripping from his mouth as this scorch mark on his stomach is just looking awful. You can smell burnt flesh in your nostrils, and he looks up at you, grins, and you see blood running between his teeth. But he's still alive. Garrick, death saving throw.
Alright, how many saves do you have?
That's only the one.
Okay.
I say before rolling in at 1. Here you go. Ready?
You're rolling that one. 20?
Nope, that's a nat 1. I cannot believe it. I fucking called it. Garrick dies.
Alright, Garrick. I'm afraid that, you simply succumb to your wounds as you're lying on your back on the floor and the light starts to fade from your eyes. Is there any final words you'd like to say?
The light shall burn you.
And burn him it did, to be fair. Yeah, Garrick Dawnhammer. His last breath escapes him, and he passes away on the bridge of Krundakar.
I cannot believe that.
That is... dying to a nat 1 on death saves is rough.
It's bad. It almost kills you every time.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
That was fun.
Kalen, death saving throw, please.
Because I've been rolling non-nat ones this whole time. I have a 12. I'm a success.
That's a success. Well, you're not a... Let's be clear.
Shut up.
Alright. Rulerick, as you drift further into the darkness of the canyon below the bridge, you can hear running water below you. But it's still some way off, as you can't even make it out yet. Do you have dark vision? Dwarf,
I do.
right,
I'm a
you do.
dwarf.
Okay, you can see down vaguely, and you can see a stream
Wait,
running
hold
by.
on. Kaelin went down. Concentration on Featherfall ends, and I will fall.
I'm not sure if it's
Is
a
it a concentration
spell.
ability?
I'm pretty sure it is,
not
right?
a,
It's not a
it's
concentration.
It's
not a
not?
concentration
No.
spell.
Oh my
You
gosh.
are so lucky. Oh
Ooh.
my days.
Woo! Woo!
I mean, you may have actually. I don't know how far you got to go, but
You're okay. All right, you can look down if you want to pivot and like look down below.
Yeah, I guess the.
float around.
All right.
Is there a writhing mass of horrible creatures waiting for me at the bottom?
No, it's actually just a small stream running at the bottom of the canyon. You'd have to guess 100, 150 feet away from the bottom.
All right. Well, I guess I'll
Drift
just
further down.
slowly drift. Whee!
All right, it's Glob's turn. Phineas, roll me a perception check.
Oh,
Actually, no, make
God.
that an insight check.
Okay, is that just a D20?
It's an
there is an
insight check.
insight.
You should have an insight modifier. If you look on your character sheet,
Yeah, it's
Everything.
inside of 2, so
Plus 2
just a D.
D20 plus 2.
Yeah. Okay. That is a 14.
Okay, you can see that Glob is hesitating and eagerly watching Grawn. As soon as he dropped to his knees, Glob kind of took a step back and is watching Grawn to see what happens.
Okay.
Alright. Grawn's turn. Grawn is going to summon his remaining strength
Yeah.
and stand to his feet.
Yep.
And he's gonna, not an attack, but he's gonna put his foot to the side of Kaelin's body and just shunt his failing form to the side and step towards you, Phineas. Go, well, even if I go out on this one, I'd say it's been a good fight, wouldn't you?
Yes, I suppose.
Still so courteous in the middle of battle.
Friends are all dead. He's
I would agree with you on that one.
And he kind of sighs, and even as he sighs, you see fleckles of blood come out of his mouth. He's like, ugh. Bloody mages. Never any sense of humor. And he's gonna raise his cleaver, and you can see as he raises it, the weight of it almost overwhelms him, and he has to take a step back as blood just seeps from every wound, and he's gonna try smashing it down on your head, Phineas.
Mm-hmm.
And that is... he rolls a 9.
Reaction. Oh, never mind. Never mind.
You had to shield me on a 9? Come on.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
He rolls a 9. You can see his strength falter almost, and the blow just falls to the side. And then he's going to try a desperate upswing from there at you, which is a natural 1. And at this point,
He is failing.
he tries to swing, and his sword just scrapes along the floor, and he just stumbles back. But he's still just grinning at you in the face. And you can tell that all form of fighting has just fallen out of him, and he's just grinning with this blood-stained face. Phineas, your turn.
I kind of look up at him, and I like a very small smile just plays on his face, and he just goes, do you like magic then? Well, magic missile. And just and bam.
That's the greatest.
Let's not
like,
let the dice
one-liner
decide
ever
this
seen.
one.
Scott, I will say that you don't have to roll your damage.
You
Okay.
needed a 1.
No, you
Well, he's a
needed,
half word.
you needed,
or-
you needed 4. So,
You needed 4.
Okay.
all right. How would you like your magic missile to end Grawn?
Now, does magic missile, like, does it pierce in, or is it just
No,
bolts?
it's force damage. It like slams into them.
So I would like it to. So the 3 bolts, one of them hits him in the chest. They actually, all 3 of them just kind of coalesce into one point in his chest, and it just knocks him backwards, where he then just lies at the feet of Glub
All right.
with just like blood pouring
So
out
he
of his
staggers backwards. His cleaver clatters to the stone and bounces to the side, and he staggers backwards and looks at his chest, which you now suddenly realize, after the impact of your missile, is actually like concave in, and he just falls backwards, and you hear his head smash against the ground at the feet of Glob back here. And Glob at this point is just kind of staring aghast down at Grawn and then up at you, and you can actually hear an audible Garrick, death saving. No, you're dead.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's
Caleb,
dead.
death
I'm dead.
saving throw.
roll to dead. I died.
11 success.
That's a success. All right.
I'm staying alive.
Rurik, continue your descent. I assume you just fall another 60 feet.
Yeah, nothing.
The bridge
Nothing.
getting smaller
And by
and
this
smaller.
point,
as the-
he's just got his like arms crossed. He's like,
Almost
How long is
peaceful,
this going
really.
to
The dinner battle quietens and you fall towards the sound of running water. Glub.
Fair enough.
Glub drops his club and looks up at you, Phineas, and goes, Are you the new boss then? How's this work?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Oh. What? I've never had a magic-y boss before. Yeah, what do you want me to do?
If you could pick up Braun, and I'm assuming Glub is huge, isn't he?
Glub is, yeah, he's about 16
is
feet
huge.
tall. Yeah, he's pretty big.
So I'd like, if you could pick up Braun, and pick up my two friends, and you and I will head back to the camp.
Oh, I don't think they'll like me in
They-
that camp.
They will like you because you're with me. You will be fine.
I ain't sure about that. I might wait for you here.
Okay.
He sort of starts stepping back towards the gates.
Okay.
And as soon as you
That's
say
fine.
okay, he's kind of like... He turns around and just runs off. He says dun 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 as he runs back in the gates.
Can I then like reach over and try and give aid to Kalen?
Yes, you can make a medicine check to try and stabilize them.
Okay, that is a 14.
That succeeds. Kalen,
Cool.
you are no longer at risk of dying. You are stabilized. However, you are unconscious. Thank God. Alright. So Phineas, standing on the
Yeah.
bridge with unconscious Kalen and Garrick quite visibly deceased from the huge wound the ballista scored in his shoulder, and Glub's buggered off. What would you like to do?
Can I like look over the bridge and just yell for Rurik? Just yell Rurik
Yeah,
as loudly
sure.
as I can.
Yeah, Rurik, I'd say you hear him. You're not that far away.
What would I want to yell back?
you bloody better come get me.
I'm still alive! Are you?
Yeah.
Others?
Garrick's not. But shall I see you back at camp?
I don't know! Come find me!
How?
I don't know!
At this
Okay,
point,
then.
Rurik's voice trails off into the
Yeah. So I want to. I guess I'll go check Braun to see if he has anything of interest on him.
Fuck Kalen. Alright.
She's not gonna die anytime soon. He's not gonna die anytime soon.
Alright, you go over to Grawn. Make me an investigation check.
Okay, I'm just checking. Do I have it? Ooh, I've got a good bonus to investigation. That's a 19.
Alright, I would say that, even without needing to cast Detect Magic, your instincts pick up something a little interesting about the cleaver Grawn was wielding. It seems
Okay.
to hum with some sort of arcane energy.
Okay.
And also, just rummaging around on Grawn's person himself, you do find several coin bags, presumably given to him in payment, each one stamped with a insignia you don't quite recognize. It's not something you would have seen before, even in your
Okay.
studies, so you're not quite sure what that is. They're sort of rough hemp pouches, but with this black paint insignia stamped on each one. And they
Okay.
seem pretty heavy. You find 4 coin pouches.
Cool. 4 coins. That's fine.
Other than that, no, he's just got his padded armor, and which is mostly obliterated by fire and other means at this point. But yeah, his cleaver seems to hum with some sort of power.
Okay. I mean, just is there a way that I can take the cleaver and help Kalen get back? Just because.
Yeah, I'd say like the cleaver is big, but Grawn was he was just an orc. He was
Okay.
while he was massive, he was like humanoid size, like 7 feet. So yeah, you could sling the cleaver over your back and attempt to carry Kalen. Kalen's not that big. You can.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. I'll start making my way. Does Garrick have any like insignias on him or anything like that?
Garrick, do you have any insignias on?
The only thing I would have is a small emblem of helm that I used around my neck.
Okay, I'll take that emblem.
All right.
And I'm very shiny, other than that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll take that emblem off Garrick then, and just kind of put it over my neck before I start, and just kind of say very quietly, "I'm so sorry for shooting you," and then just kind of start carrying Kaelin back towards the camp.
All right. So you guys start carrying Kaelin back towards the camp, and as you approach where the main battle lines were, you see that the orcs have been routed. Clearly word of their leader dying has spread, and they're running for their lives at this point. Small cavalry detachments from Northshore seem to be chasing them down and spearing those in the back they can. But mostly the battle is over. There are people standing and healers beginning to wander the wounded, and you eventually make it back to camp, where you see the familiar face of Ender Harris, actually. Just greet you almost as you enter the camp. But we'll go to Rurik. Rurik, you reach the bottom of the canyon after a long, slow fall that seemed to last an eternity. And you land in the running water, to your immense relief that it appears to be little more than a few inches deep. Going over the rocks and the pebbles at the bottom and soaking your back, but you seem to be able to walk down here.
Do I follow the river's direction or head to the source? I guess if it's flowing somewhere, they always say running water leads to civilization. I guess I'll follow the path that the river is running.
All right. So you start walking down the canyon, and you walk and you walk and you walk for must be 10, 15 minutes. You disappear into the earth even, but your dark vision allows you to see, and the river seems to run into a network of underground caverns and caves as it twists and turns, and you keep going until eventually you realize that the river is slowly but surely at a downward gradient. The water speeds up a little bit and seems to be running downhill, and it just seems to wind and wind down. Are you going to keep following it?
Yeah, I guess I would maybe keep an eye along the path for any other routes. But if there's nothing else I see, I'll just keep following the river.
Nothing seems to split off until suddenly you come to a fork. You have a pretty good sense of direction underground, being a dwarf, and you could figure that the path to the right presumably leads to where Under Krundakar would be. But the path to the left appears to wind downwards further.
Do I want to? If I go into Krundakar, it's full of the bloody... Oh. But further down... I'll head further down.
Alright. As soon as you cross the threshold of the fork... An illithid... No, okay. As soon as you cross the threshold of the
You son
fork...
of a bitch.
You feel a chill wind run up the passage, and a voice just rings out that says, "Ah, Rurik Bodorost has made a wise decision. Let us teach you how you can really unlock that power of yours." And that's where we'll leave it for tonight.
For fuck's sake.
Thanks. I hate it.
I don't like it.
What on earth?
All
What's
right.
gonna happen to me?
Oh boy.
But yeah, that's what we'll leave for tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed playing. And if you're watching
was-
this, I hope you enjoyed watching.
What a ride.
The new player threw up twice and then blasted his party with a shotgun.
Scott, I told
And
you.
was the only one to survive.
I mean,
Well, he survived
No
as
one-
well. You're fine.
no one. Yeah, it was my bad. I can't deny. Like,
D&D
Totally my
literally
bad.
exists for moments like that. Don't worry.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh no,
it
Scott,
really
you
does
should
work.
worry. You should worry a lot for doing something like that. I would feel awful if that was me. So.
Big
Eh.
crime right there.
Just keep in mind, we will never forget it.
No.
No, they
keep in
won't.
mind, I could have left Kaelin for dead.
I mean, you know.
No, but I wouldn't have done.
What would you like to do after the fight? Throw Kaelin off the bridge. All right.
Honestly, I thought that's what the orc was gonna do. I thought he was gonna kick the body off
I
the
think he's
edge.
gonna like stomp her head or something.
Yeah, I was kind of worried.
I
was
don't
like,
know.
All right. Anyway, thank you guys so much for playing. It's been a pleasure. I hope you had
Thanks,
fun.
Connor.
And yeah,
It was.
see you next time.